All right, welcome to. It looks like it's that's broken. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that. Welcome to D&D Civil War, or I'm sorry, D&D Stealing Dragons, Session 15, Under the Sea, and I believe we are ready to go.
Well, hi, Internet.
Sorry, I went to the memes channel and I shouldn't have.
Oh,
In other
no.
news, why should you never fight a dinosaur? You'll get your ass kicked.
Jurassic.
Your
Your ass kicked. Hell yeah, I like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome everyone. That note. Hope everybody's having a good night. So this'll be an interesting session to say the least. But let's go ahead and figure out what happened last time, as per usual, from the Book o' Viz.
Today, we visit a dragon in the harbor. I really hope it doesn't destroy our armor. Jalester came by to visit and chat. He had a job for us, but with a caveat. A bad man named Harko, who's a killer, is back, and the job will be quite the thriller. They've asked us to kill him, which I think is pretty damn grim. We learned that Grinda lives down to the west. Unfortunately, outside her home became quite the slugfest. To our surprise, Risk grew some wings. And then he killed more people, and that really stings. Grinda had the mystical stone. Of course it has, we say with a moan, as she tells us she misplaced it, but she says, don't throw a fit. Find treasure down below, and I'll tell you where to go. So Jot learned the controls, and we now know our goals. I hope we find this goddamn rock without another fucking roadblock.
Fantastic.
DM inspiration, Havoc?
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
I already have it.
No.
Of course.
You can have a havoc buck for that. Also, I'm going to kill your character.
So wait, I got
Alright.
a logistical question. If our characters die, do our Havoc Bucks roll over?
Ooh.
Any you spent do not. The
No,
ones
no,
left
just-
over, yes.
Yeah, once. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're tied to the player, not the character. Alright.
It's a pretty accurate recap, though, right?
Was very accurate. So, going off what was on there, if anybody got lost there during that recap.
Are you going to recap my recap?
I'm not going to recap your recap. The party ended up being out to this place called Mistshore within Waterdeep itself. It's kind of on the northern end of the Gulf here. That's called the... As I scroll... the Great Harbor and the Naval Harbor, with Mistshore lying at the north end of the Naval Harbor itself. Mistshore being a place that is not
It's broken.
a rich place by
Oh.
any stretch of the imagination. It was actually
Oh, no, it should
mostly
not.
burned down a few years ago by a fire that spread
Very
through
good.
the shanties here, and now decrepit shanties and old pieces of ships and things like that are all that remain. As you ventured into it, you seeking out a couple of different leads for different jobs and such, but you were able to find one that seemed to be kind of a primary goal in Grinda. However, she seemed to be accosted, or was being accosted at the very least, by several thug-looking people. A fight broke out, and a very strange aquatic creature showed up during the middle of this fight, gave you a bit of trouble, but ultimately you were victorious, and you were able to talk to Grinda, who was pretty excited to see all of you, though not for the reason that you thought. You see that she's been seeking adventurers like yourselves, with a particular set of skills that you all possess. Basically, you work for money, and that's all she really requires. She wants to send a couple of you, at the very least. One detail that might have gotten left out last session is that the Apparatus of Kwalish, this machination, this steampunk contraption that Grinda possesses, is fairly large, but the mechanics of it take up most of its bulk, and within it, there's only enough room for 2 people, tops, within it.
Ooh.
So,
Oh!
We did not get that information last
yeah.
time.
So, unfortunately, not everybody will be able to ride into it, but you do know that everybody in the party does possess these potions of water breathing, which will allow you to go beneath the water and survive like any other aquatic creature, at least for a little while.
Could we hang on to the apparatus and, swim with it?
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, okay,
She
so
could,
we all
grab
can
you in the
go.
pincers and stuff. Yeah, you can. You just can't be inside. So with that, you find yourself still within Grinda's little humble abode here. As was said in the recap, Jod has taken some time, being the tinkerer and wizard that she is, to try to learn the mechanics of this apparatus. And after about 30 minutes or so, she's able to get a decent grasp on everything. And Jot... Oh, roll 20, why? I'm going to give you a handout, if roll 20 will let me.
I've seen the Apparatus of Kwalish on D&D Beyond before. Is that what you're going to give me? I can pull it up.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, it's in your journal now. So that is how to operate the Apparatus of Kwalish. So it's still fairly early in the day at this point, just before noon. You set out pretty early in the morning to head out towards Mistshore. You still have a good amount of time ahead of you. You do know that the apparatus itself will allow a good 6 or 7 hours, depending on how often the people inside of it breathe, to survive underwater. If they take sparing breaths, maybe squeeze out a few extra minutes, but otherwise you say 5 or 6 hours is pretty solid there. Grinda has requested that you search within the harbor itself, whether it be the naval harbor or the great harbor itself. Either way, she just wants you to investigate for any treasure and to return with any of this treasure, and you would split it halfsies. She would take half, and the rest of the party would get half. Kind of unbalanced when there's 5 of you, but it is her machine that is allowing you to pull this loot and such back. So after agreeing to do so, and also promising that she would tell you where this mausoleum was that she sent her familiar off to with the Stone of Galore, which you're seeking, you've decided to go ahead and get ready to head into the water for a couple of different reasons. So, with that, what do you want to do?
Just to clarify real quickly, swimming is an athletics ability, correct?
You just can swim.
Swimming is a movement, essentially. To do things fancily within the water or strenuously in the water, generally it'll be an athletics check to do so. Just because you're forcing yourself through the water or forcing yourself to do something unnatural. If you have a swim speed, however, like one person in the party does, there is no check required. You can move through the water as if you're walking through land. So,
but it's half speed for everyone else, right?
So I want to ride an apparatus. Just
I
kidding.
think that's what I'm getting. Yeah. You should definitely be inside the apparatus.
Well, I wear really light armor, so I can probably swim with my armor. And I guess I should probably be where most of the people are. So, in case someone gets hurt and I need to heal them or something. So I guess I'll be outside. If someone gets hurt?
Is there a way to get out of the apparatus when you're in the water? Like, where's the hatch? Is it in the top or the bottom?
it's on the back side of it.
Okay. And Havoc, we're hearing your
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just checking.
As much as y'all hear it, it breaks my eardrums.
Okay.
So it's a disappointing thing every time it happens, because it's like, oh, cool, I needed that heart attack. So yeah, you know that the hatch on the back side of it does allow entry within to the inner chamber of it. You can open the back hatch, however, there is no staging door or anything like that. If you open that back hatch, you will flood the inside of this apparatus with water.
Kai,
I'm
do you
sure it would
think
be
you're
fine.
going to be inside or outside?
I don't really know. I don't wear heavy armor, but
Another problem too is I can't see in the dark, so I would need someone to make some sort of light for me.
It's daytime.
Not in the water. Does the thing have headlights?
I didn't see a headlight on the
Okay, dang. So, I mean, we need a light source for you then as well. I don't know the light spell.
I should probably be on the outside because I speak Draconic. I mean, I believe that we were told this dragon spoke. Actually, we were told that it spoke to someone, but they didn't say in which language.
I can make some light.
I don't think it's really going to matter to me. I can go inside or out. It doesn't matter.
Well, I definitely have to be inside to drive it. Should we play
on
stone
second
parchment shears?
on second thought, perhaps
It's like
I
the
should.
matchsticks.
Perhaps I should be inside. I could aid Jot in operating this machinery. Give her a little guidance, so to speak.
Maybe you can take a breather too, and kind of get a chance to sit down and get a little short rest.
Possibly. We'll see.
Okay.
Works for me. I'm not the world's greatest swimmer, but
Probably one of you should have the extra potion of water breathing then. Since I don't hopefully need
This
it.
music's so dramatic.
Jot, I do think you should hold on to one of them, just in case there's a problem.
Well, yes, but Talia
Oh,
gave
correct.
her
That's right. That's right.
How long are they good for?
An hour.
I believe.
So we
Shit,
don't-
actually, do we know that? were we told?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
It's
Okay.
it's not a common
Hour
potion
long,
and a
anyways,
common,
but yeah.
but
So the apparatus can go down for 6 hours or so, but each of us can only go down alongside of it for an hour at a time.
Oh, Kai, do you have to see someone to send them a message?
Yes, I have to have line of sight of them.
Do we have any way to measure time down there? God?
I think that all of you have a pretty solid internal clock.
Maybe the potion will have some sort of effect where I can start to feel it wear off as well.
Yeah, it'll be the part where you're unable to breathe.
Right, but I think maybe there'd be a part where it's like, hey, breaths have started to become more difficult before it's like, oh god, I'm unconscious.
So you can hold your breath for each modifier in your constitution.
Yes, it's.
I can hold one breath.
No. I think it's for like a minute or something like that.
1 minute per. Like
Maybe
if
it's
you got
maybe it's like the water breathing potions in Minecraft where you have the little bubbles for your
For the duration?
breaths, and until the potion wears off, the bubbles stay the same. But then once the potion wears off, the bubbles start going away, and then you go, oh, I gotta go up to the surface. Maybe it's mechanics like that.
Talia,
Well,
if we
you
pass
can-
out, will you just bring us to the surface?
If I can make it up fast enough.
I mean,
Yeah, you
even
can hold
at
your
least bring my
breath
dead
for-
body up to the surface.
Like this.
I could feed
can
you
tell
some fish.
That
That's
doesn't
not
seem
helpful.
like what we want to have happen.
Get back to the life cycle.
All right, I can hold my breath for like 2-ish minutes. Is there any way we could make an air bubble on our way down? Like we brought like a bucket upside down or something so that I could stick my head under there and drink the potion at the last moment?
You trying to Captain Jack this?
I mean, just like min-max my duration of potion. Can Talia like CPR it to me?
Oh yeah, can she no, because it'd be water.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's a question of can she. I think it's more of a question of would she.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take off my shoes and my socks, and I'm gonna take off like my pouch with my book and put it off to the side. I'm gonna like put my foot in the water. How's the water?
It's a little brisk, a little bit chilly. Not freezing, obviously, but it's probably sitting in the 50s to 60s, water temperature-wise.
Okay, all right. I'm ready when you guys are.
Is this set up to let us exit from within her?
I assumed it's floating in water, so I thought we would just go down.
As you're looking...
Grinda, is it okay if we leave some of our goods here?
With that, Grinda kind of watching you all, tapping your foot a bit impatiently at you
Should I put them
taking your
in the
time.
apparatus, actually? That would make more sense.
Yes.
No, well, I don't know.
It's up to you, really. I don't care.
Where's Seamus going?
Grinda, is it okay if I leave my owl up here with you? He can't swim.
You see her kind of looking up at the owl. There's a shit everywhere.
No.
Oh,
He's
yes,
very
that's
lovely.
fine. Okay, that's fine.
Alright, I'm gonna leave some of my goods out, because I don't want them destroyed in the water.
Okay. So, like leaving your weapons and your money behind, or?
No,
All
like
of my money.
like my book, my paper bird, things that wouldn't survive in the water.
Okay, that makes sense.
My drum, my lute,
my drum.
my lyre.
My drum.
Yeah, my pan flute can come with; it can get wet. But my lute, my lyre, and my drum cannot.
Do you want
my
your
servants-
cowbell to rust?
My servant's clothes, my Zentarum outfit, my Xanathar outfit. Gonna leave those
Okay.
here, just kind of fold them up nicely.
For the sake of brevity,
In hope she doesn't
you
go through
all,
your stuff.
Yeah, you all see that once again that Grinda is eccentric, to put it nicely. She's a bit out there. She does, willingly proclaim that she has had dealings with the Xanathar Guild in the past, and that is why they gave her the stone to hold on to it. But she did say that she felt interested in this item, and that's why she sent it away before the Xanathar Guild showed up, and then refused to give it to them, which is when you arrived. She seems like a good person, if maybe only good in the means that she doesn't really lie. She'll tell you everything straight to your face. So, with you setting your goods down and preparing to head into the water, she kind of nods, says, yes. Remember, I take half of whatever you bring back, and she kind of motions. Jot here should know how to drive the apparatus just fine. Do bring it back in one piece, preferably.
I'll do my best.
All right. Get lost. Time's wasting. Let's go.
I'll
So with that...
I'm going to climb onto the apparatus, not in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in the water next to it so my body can get used to it. I'm gonna find somewhere to get a good grip. Maybe on one of these crab legs, lobster legs.
How fast does this thing go?
It can go. It's the same speed as you, 30 feet. Swim speed. Or land speed.
Havok, how cold is the water this time of year?
As
I would
Viz
say
found out,
it's brisk. It's like it's not freezing cold, but maybe like 50 to 60 degrees ish.
Yep.
Ish.
Ish.
If I was to guess.
It can go down to 900 feet underwater. And then below that, it starts taking damage. So
Just
don't
be
do that.
extremely uncomfortable for the rest of you, though.
Mhm.
All right, so with everybody climbing up onto the sides of this apparatus, with Jot and Kai going inside of it, you see this heavy metal door being raised up and then shut as Kai moves into the back end of it with Jot rather sitting up to the front of it. Jot in front of you, you see all these different levers and such that all have up and down positions, and you've kind of gotten a mental picture of what all of these things can do. So you've got that mental image of that chart in front of you.
Well, I took notes, so I
right,
actually
right.
wrote it down in a little book, yeah. Uh-huh.
Kai, you're kind of sitting back there. It's a bit cramped. You're kind of shoved up, your legs kind of flanking Jot on either side, but you're able to sit down with your back a bit hunched. Jot is much more comfortable, being a bit more small in stature. But the rest of you climb up on the side of it. You see that the metal has been bent and such around this kind of cylindrical frame with these large, somewhat crab-like appendages coming out of it. These jutting legs out, and then the two long, curved arms sticking out the front of it. As you're clinging to it, you're able to find some handholds and such, and you kind of dong onto the side of it, thus letting Jot know that you're all secured and ready to go. People on the outside, Jot and Kai, y'all have some windows out in front of you where those little eyes were on the front of this place. You can see directly in front of you. You can't really see out the left and right or behind you, but you can at least see what's directly in front of you. The party on the outside, you see Grinda moving forward, and as she does so, she reaches into the room that she's in, where the apparatus is, and there's a lever on the front wall closest to the harbor. And she flips the lever down, and as she does so, you see these huge doors opening in front of the apparatus. You see sloshes of water rushing in and starting to make the apparatus bob a bit more than it was before. You hear the machine beginning to hum with this power behind it as Jot sends it forward, seeing the gates open.
Immediately, Kai places his hand on Jot's back. Don't worry, I'm sure you've got this.
I drink
It's
my
going to be a
potion.
non-stop massage of guidance.
Just
You got this. You got this.
you got this. You got this.
Do you want me to tell you the levers and stuff that I'm doing, or?
Not yet.
Okay.
Can I watch? I want to watch closely to see how she's operating this thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Just so I can try, see if I can understand what she's doing, just in case something bad happens and I have to get this thing back up. I want to try to watch.
So for starters, I pulled the last lever down all the way, and that sealed the hatch. And then the second lever I pushed up to open the front shutter. And then the third lever I pushed up to open the side windows. And then I pushed the very first lever up to get it to start to go.
All right. So as the apparatus begins to move forward, you can all feel it sinking down lower and lower into the water every passing second. The two of you requiring air normally to breathe, go ahead and down your potions. You do have 5 in your possession total. I'm imagining probably the ones on the outside of the ship have possession of these 5 potions. For the sake of, in case an hour passes, maybe you'll have an extra to down.
Well, Kai and Jot each also have one, in case the thing starts sinking and they need to drink one.
Okay, so you'll have 1 extra then on the outside.
I don't know. I mean, we've got a lot of air in there.
Yeah, but if it explodes or a hole is ripped into it and it starts Titanicing,
Just
Also,
immediately
if you can only go 90 feet down,
it can go
sorry,
900.
900 feet. How?
Yeah, do we know how deep the harbor is at all?
If I go more than 600 feet and my thing expires, then I'm dead.
You can't get up.
You know
with-
that it's
I
a
can't
harbor.
get more than 600 feet in a minute now.
I mean, it's a harbor. It's
But you've
not
got
deep
2.
water sea.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe a couple hundred
How
feet.
am I going to drink
tops.
a potion in the water? I
we
open the
give you
top.
guys,
No.
we give you guys our potions.
Yeah.
Wait, but also
it's
you do
only
have
100 feet deep.
you can hold your breath for 1 plus your con mod. So 2 minutes would be 1,200 feet.
But it's half movement as well, right?
Mhm.
So
You do not have a swim speed.
Okay, so 600 feet.
But
But
yeah,
even then
I mean,
you-
if we give you guys, well, let's see. Wait,
if
You
you
have an
give it to
extra
us,
one?
we have no way to drink it underwater.
You'd be able to manage it. You'd be able to pop it up, boom, can get the massive, the majority of the contents into your mouth.
Oh, okay.
You might swallow some seawater too. It'll taste terrible. Might get a little dehydrated, but it'll be all right.
or if we give you guys at least one of ours, then you'd both have an extra one.
I'd say
Yeah.
we keep 1 with us,
Yeah,
and then they
just
get
in
2
case.
each.
Sounds good to me.
If
All right.
Jot and Kai split half of one, they each drink half. Do they get 30 minutes?
No.
No.
That's not how that works.
They each drown.
Yeah, they both drown.
All right. So
I
yeah.
have a table for that, actually. Failed potion results.
Oh, no.
All right, so as you head into the water, the apparatus moving fairly quickly, you see that Talia is able to easily just swim through the water, having no issues. You see her, at home here, moving freely back and forth, swimming away from the vessel back and forth. Yeah, I'd imagine Talia seems a bit chipper, maybe? If nothing else, her mood may have brightened ever so slightly, being here in the water. As you continue down, you see that the land below you is only about 50 or so feet down, and it seems to stretch out for a little while that way. So you continue forward off of the sand reefs and such. Yeah, here looks majestic as fuck. As you continue forward, takes you about 10 minutes or so before you finally see it kind of at a hard drop off. It's been kind of the ground below you, the sand below you, has been kind of sinking down ever so slightly, every 10 to 15 feet. But then you see just what appears to be a cliff underwater. You see some sand even kind of trailing over it. And as you rise over this cliff and move up, all of you outside, and even Kai and Jot looking through the lenses in front of you, are able to see this deep, beautiful expanse of crystal blue water ahead of you. You see fish, all kinds of manners of naval or aquatic life, rather, ahead of you. Looking around, you see the sun is shining. It is overcast in the above, the surface world. But there's enough sunlight into the water that you're able to see adequately, and you feel like you'll be able to see at least 100 or so feet down. You won't lose too much light. So with that, you start diving and heading even lower. As you do so, you start to see structures here and there. And as you're looking closer, you see what appear to be sunken ships. A lot of them barely larger than dinghies. Ships is a harsh word for them. Boats would be more adequate. Looking at them and kind of cursory glancing, you'll notice the apparatus slows down a bit as Kai and Jot wait to see if anybody that's swimming on the outside points to anything, but all of you see that there's nothing left of these. It's all rotted wood underneath. You see coral and such growing on some of these ships. Nothing seems to be within them. So you continue on. After about 30 minutes. Yes, Viz?
I want to keep my eye out for something purple and beautiful.
Purple and beautiful. Okay. Noted. I don't want y'all to see that. Okay. Oh, okay. How do I want to do this?
Oh god, I take it back. I just meant like overall, if I happened to see something that was pretty, not necessarily treasure, I was going to take it. But if it's like a lot of work and make it, I disregard.
No, see, what you find is a beautiful purple Merrow.
Sick. It's purple. It's drowning.
Okay.
Purple Craig. Oh god, no. No.
Purple Kraken. Let me pop my other beer here real quick. My cider.
I don't have to swim faster than the Kraken. I just have to swim faster than you guys.
As Talia literally does circles around you.
Right. Yeah, that's not even a competition.
All right.
How much would my speed be slowed if I grabbed one of them?
Probably about half.
Just abandon us. We're not worth it.
Risk, Viz, and Talia. Go ahead and give me perception checks, please.
It's not bad, not bad. Good job, guys.
Not bad at all. As you're swimming alongside, kind of grabbing hold of the apparatus, looking around, you see matters of ships up ahead of you, starting to shimmer out of the distance. You see the ocean floor dropping once again ahead of you. And as you're looking, you see what appears to be this large galleon of a ship. It's still several hundred feet off. Jot and Kai, you're just now starting to be able to see it through the lenses. Once again, it's tiny little portholes. It's hard to, you're kind of glancing through it and such, but it's hard for you to catch quick sight of things. Everyone else, you're able to see this ship off in the distance. And then you notice something else, those of you outside it. You notice the light disappears from above you for a moment. Kind of look around and then glance up. And as you do so, you see the telltale signs of the sun. Sun's beam shining through the water. All of you kind of simultaneously glance at each other. And as you're doing so, you see a shadow pass across your head again. As you bang on the roof, I imagine Jot instinctively stops. As you all see the shadow passing above you again, you glance up immediately. And you see... what appears to be
I swear to God.
A
if you say it's
very large shark.
It's the dragon.
As you see this shark, you see it pausing for a moment, swimming, its body, its mass stopping for a moment. And then you see its body kind of rotating to become vertical. And as it does so, you see the front of it now. 2 small black eyes on this bulbous front of it. Large white teeth glimmering as it passes through the sun. And you see that its body is now facing towards all of you and begins to swim towards you. Need everybody to roll for initiative.
I can't use the emissary of the sea to be like, Bruce, we are friends, not
Not
food.
Not food.
I don't have a token to click on.
You could just throw the token on.
I also
top
have
of
no
this.
clue what, like, exactly we'll be able to do in here. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I know
I
what
can-
I can do with the machine.
Yeah, you should have. I mean, it's going to be somewhat difficult for y'all to cast stuff from within this machine. Within sight stuff, but anything that needs to like project or shoot from your fingers or anything like that is not going to work. Let me grab y'all's tokens real quick.
Just stick them on like
I
the
didn't
bottom
think
of
about that.
the map or something. So we have something to do.
Yeah. Shit. Oh. Yep.
If I successfully land a disarming attack, does it lose its teeth?
No.
Damn it.
Initiative.
Alright, there you go.
Ooh.
Alright. So, Jot, you do know that you have the ability to somewhat fight back as you're hearing the knocks and such, and then you start to hear, even through the, thick metal surrounding you, you can kind of hear frantic noises coming from outside. Not quite sure, though, Kai and Jot, y'all are not quite sure what's going on yet, though.
Because we haven't seen it yet, have we?
Yeah, have not. Alright. Oh, yeah. It needs initiative, too. There we go. Okay. It rolled shitty. Alright, so just hearing the dong, 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 kind of frantically against the hull of the apparatus. What do you want to do, John?
Do you need to restart Forge? No? Okay.
Nope, I'm good.
Because I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, is that? I guess I could kind of. There's a way to like turn it, so I guess I would just start like turning it in place and seeing if I can spot the shark.
Yeah, I mean, you can... I mean, which way you want to turn? You can turn 90 degrees, essentially. And you can do...
I can turn 90 degrees.
And do
right
one more
to the
lever.
left. Do what now?
You can... 2 levers, basically. Use your action, you can use 2 levers per turn.
Oh, okay.
Can you use the same lever twice?
Yes.
I mean, I guess I
We'll
would
say... We'll say for the sake of it, the 7th one can also be used to either go like vertical or downwards. Basically you have freedom of movement with that one. It'll just be 90 degrees, however you do it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I would probably. I mean, I wouldn't have any idea where this thing is.
Can we say that I banged on the right, like intentionally banged on the right side of the ship?
Sure.
To kind of give an indication to turn this way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay, sure. So, I mean, and presumably we might have like talked about beforehand of like if I bang on one side, look that way. So yeah, so I'll turn to the right.
Okay. As you do so, I don't want to take liberty, but I kind of think I know what Risk wants to do. Risk, are you going to stay holding on to the apparatus, or are you going to let go as it starts to turn?
My plan was to stay holding on.
If you let go, it's going to turn around and face you directly.
As in the...
And they would be able to see you.
Yeah, I don't think I have any reason to do that.
You
Okay.
could point.
All right.
Okay, so I turn to the right.
Yeah, you turn to the right. So you turn. As you do so, you see more blue water and such, but don't see anything out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Now I see what you're saying.
So I've seen at this point straight ahead. Well, let's see, and we can also see to the side. So I've actually, with that, we would have just gotten a 360 view around us, right? Because we have straight ahead, 2 sides.
You don't see out the sides. You can only see straight ahead.
There's windows on the sides.
You said that's how they saw us.
There's windows on the sides. There's a forward window shutter and 2 side window shutters.
There are. Okay. Yeah, I was wrong. That didn't show up on the picture. That's what I was basing all that off of.
Okay. No,
all right. So yeah.
Okay. So at this point, I've seen all the directions in the four directions.
Yes. Cardinal directions are covered. Yes.
Okay. And are we on the ground?
No. You were floating. Yep. Still floating in.
Okay.
Midair.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like looking up makes the most sense, but I don't want to be metagamey.
It's in the water.
But yeah,
I mean, you could be scrambling around, or Kai could be looking at the windows. Like everybody on the outside, you do know that these shutters there have been open this entire time to give them the full view.
And
so
the
shutters
sides,
are close enough.
So if you see us, we're definitely looking up.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, there's side windows and we see you. Okay, yeah. So at that point, then I'll turn it up and look up. So, and then at that point, I assume we see it.
All right, yeah. So at that point, as you turn the apparatus up through the front windows, you're able to clearly see this huge shark barreling towards you all.
Okay, but that's my action, correct?
Yep.
Okay. All right, that's all I do then.
Okay. So the apparatus begins to face the shark. Everybody on the outside is pretty sure that Jot and Kai are caught up to speed as to what's about to happen to you all. Risk, it's your turn.
All right, I'm going to fake out internally a little bit.
Oh, Havoc, sorry. About how far away from us is it right now?
Don't use the measurement on here. It's going to be very fluid with this.
Yeah.
Very theater of the minus. I just wanted you all to have tokens to mess around with. We'll say at this point, it's about 60 feet away.
Okay.
Perfect.
That changes everything. I'm sorry, I was counting. I had measured before, so I no longer know exactly what I'm going to do. It's 60 feet away.
We'll say 50 feet. 50 feet away.
50 feet.
Yeah.
If I were to now, I've got 15 feet of movement because we're underwater. If I were to kind of put my feet against the machine and kind of try and spring off of it towards it, could I do that to get a little extra speed?
You can give me an athletics check. See if maybe that gives you some extra speed.
I'm gonna try and do that. Nope.
As you do so, trying to move up towards the shark, you press your legs against it, and you notice the apparatus is still swinging to a halt. And as you're trying to get a good grip onto it with your feet, you push off, and you don't get a lot of force behind it. You'll get 5 feet of extra movement.
5 feet, so 20 feet, which means I'm now within 30.
Yeah.
Okay. I am. What is the range on a hand crossbow? It's 20, right?
30, I think.
30, 120. Cool. Okay, so I am within range. All right. I'm going to take a shot with my hand crossbow. That's a 19 hit.
All right. That will be a disadvantage because underwater.
Not for crossbows.
Not for crossbows.
Really?
They're like the one exception.
Mm.
Well, crossbows and tridents.
Yeah, new tridents. I didn't know about crossbows. Okay. All right. So
But if
19.
But if it's outside my range, it's an auto miss. It's not disadvantage.
You don't get the disadvantage at all. It just
Gotcha.
fails.
Unhide. There we go. 19 hits.
All right. I'm going to take a second one.
Okay. 27 definitely hits too.
And that is going to be a pushing strike.
All right.
So it has to succeed on a DC 14 strength save. Is it
50?
Aww.
Okay. Okay. Well, I still get the damage. So that's 18 points of damage.
Okay.
Or total.
Nice, dude. Very nice.
And that is the end of my turn. And now I'm 30 feet away from a giant fucking shark.
All of you see Risk jutting forward, those of you inside the apparatus seeing him swim up ahead, and as he does so, raising up his hand crossbow, moving kind of awkwardly, but is able to kind of center himself and then quickly fires off and then quickly reloads it with the somewhat sluggish compared to what you're normally seeing from Risk, but he's able to reload it very quickly and fire off 2 bolts that hit into the shark. You see it hitting into the front of the shark, up on kind of flanking its mouth, moving just up above its mouth. It doesn't even slow down. Viz.
Talia, can you talk to it?
Yes, but I can't understand it.
Okay. I'm going to move down along the apparatus, so I'm the furthest distance away from it. And I'd like to hold my action as dash, so that if it comes within 5 feet of me, I want to crawl around to the other side of the apparatus.
Okay. All right.
If it's within 5 feet, it still gets an opportunity attack, doesn't it?
No, so like it's 5 feet away. So before,
got you.
assuming its range is 5 feet, I want to be crawling away from it as it approaches me, given the opportunity.
He basically doesn't want it to be able to get within 5 feet of him.
Yeah,
so-
because I don't need to worry about gravity and shit. I can just climb around the thing,
Okay.
or
All right,
at least
you
give
see-
myself 3/4 covers or something, whatever I can. And that's
Okay.
my turn.
All right. So you see Viz like looking back and forth, seeing Riz. His eyes are going wide. You just hear, just turns around with this gurgle, swimming to the back of the apparatus. And as he does so, you see him kind of hiding on the back side of it, next to the latch, poking his head up, and then kind of bracing himself to move if need be. Kai.
Kai's gonna peek through the little shutters in the front. I can see it from inside, right?
Yes.
Okay. And going to point in the direction of the shark and... Oh god, look at that terrible roll.
It failed.
That sucks.
Takes two damage.
It always feels so
Two.
bad when the D12 is lower.
It's so awful. Yeah, and that's gonna be my turn.
All right, Kai, kind of leaning awkwardly over Jot as he moves forward, trying to grasp into the mind of this creature. It's a very difficult target to hit, but you do notice there's some life, there's some thoughts coming in as you attack it with this necrotic energy. This bell tolling in the distance, very muffled by the sound or the water all around you. But you see the shark just flinching ever so slightly, but still barreling towards all of you. Talia.
I would like. How far away am I from Risk?
You're about. We'll say y'all were pretty close together, so about 20 feet.
I'd like to swim in front of him
Okay.
Thank you.
and do Emissary of the Sea and try and communicate with them that we're not there to hurt it, and I'd like it to leave, please, because I would hate to see its death in the sea.
What language does she speak? Oh, wait.
Blah, 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 blah.
Probably yeah.
That all you gonna do? That'll be a free action. You're just talking.
I'm gonna hold my trident just in case it comes, like just like, oh, chow down time,
All right.
out
so
towards
hold
Risk.
hold a melee attack then. Okay.
Or throne. Yeah, the throne for the javelin.
Okay. All right. So as these attacks are thrown
Right.
out, pissing off this shark even more, it keeps swimming towards you. You see it swimming, darting very quickly. Something this large should not be able to move this quickly, but it does. As Talia calls out, making this weird guttural kind of bubbly sound, you see it start to slow. Then you see it kind of twisting as it comes to a stop in front of Talia. And as it does so, it kind of bobs back and forth as it does so. Talia, you were alarmed to hear this shark begin to speak to you in Aquan as it looks at you and says,
I'm so excited!
"Why would I not eat this fresh meat here? Tell me, Triton."
I can tell you, he won't taste good. He mistreats his body. You wouldn't like it. And they're my friends. They're helping me. Rub, 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 rub.
As you do so, you see her. Once again, you're able to hear clearly Aquan. So you're able to reply in kind, being able to speak this dialect of Primordial. Everybody outside, you hear. Those are words you think, maybe. It's completely foreign to you, though. You begin to see the shark to start circling the apparatus in the group. as combat's kind of on hold at this moment. As it does so, it begins to speak. Yes, it scrambles around to the other side. It begins to circle around and begins to speak again. It says, well, there's these pirates that have shown up before, and they were quite tasty. I don't understand why none of you would not be as tasty. Tell me, Triton, why should I not eat you all right now?
Because then my people of Rapture would kill you and all of your kind.
This shark continues to circle around. It begins speaking again. It says, the Rapture is so very far away from here, child. I am not worried about them. I am hungry, though.
I'm sure there's some drunken sailors closer up to the shore. I can push a couple of them in when we get back if you'd like.
Oh, maybe he wants to eat the thing that we killed.
I don't think it's fresh, though.
It was like 3 minutes ago. Well, I guess there was travel. There was travel time.
It's been like
learning.
almost 30 minutes.
That's not good. That's an insult to the shark.
Make a persuasion check, Talia. With that, you see the shark kind of swimming and begins to pause a bit, still moving back and forth, as you all know that sharks generally are not caught not moving, even when they're sleeping. With that, it kind of moves back in front of you, Talia, coming to the front of the apparatus. Says, well, if there is more food to be had by your hands, maybe, just maybe, I will allow you to live. Maybe. Why are you down here?
We're looking for treasure. Have you seen any?
With that, the shark kind of swims in a circle for a few moments and then returns back in front of you. Treasure. Always looking for treasure down here. You, the pirates, all of them. Yes, I have seen some. There was a wreck nearby of the Neverluster, but that finicky dragon keeps guarding it, and even though others do approach it, it doesn't like me getting near, says that I am not proper for it. Quite absurd, really, I think, yes. But
this
treasure.
Dragon. Tell me more about this dragon.
Can I see Talia?
Yeah, you can see
You
Talia
see
from
my
out the front
glorious
window.
hair.
How far
Did you say
away
never
is she?
luster?
Yeah, Neverluster.
Okay.
About 20 feet ahead of the apparatus.
I'm going to point in the direction of Talia and use message and say, you should try to recruit this shark to help us with the dragon.
So why doesn't this dragon like you?
Well, this dragon, it's young in their species, I think. Not very experienced, and thinks that I want its treasure. No, I don't want any of the treasure. I only want those that seek it out. Ones such as yourselves, because, those that are greedy taste, so good.
Could you lead us to said dragon?
You see the shark moving back and forth. No, I could either eat you, I suppose I could let you go too, but only if you bring me more food. But if you're not going to bring me more food, well, you see the shark swimming back forward, and as it does so, it points its jaws towards all of you. It says,
Do you like
I think I have
puppies?
food here. Wow, that got
Cassie.
dark.
Wow.
Shame on you.
Got dark real quick.
None of us can understand this
We're
at all.
really not taking care of them, you know?
Oh. My don't listen to them, Cade. She's-
Oh my god. It's probably never
Right.
had a puppy, honestly. It's probably a delicacy.
What's the name of this dragon?
Don't encourage this shoe.
I thought the Neverluster was the name of the dragon. What is the name
No.
of this dragon?
Neverlester was the name of the ship. You're asking the shark?
First, I'm gonna say, Mr. Shark, what is your name?
Mrs. Thank you very much. I am Madam Obliteros. Didn't my
name.
voice give it away?
I haven't been underwater in a while. My hearing's off.
Yes, Obliteros is what I decided to take as a name after... Oh, I think he might have been a wizard or something. I'm not too sure. He had this magical golden skull in his possession, and when he saw me, he panicked, as my food always does. But as he did so, the skull glowed brightly, and then I felt thoughts. Very different, really. And I could speak. And I was able to talk to this man, and he begged for his life. He gave me sentience and said that I should leave him alive because of this. But I was so very hungry. So I ate him and the skull both. It was quite delicious. I think you would be too.
I promise I'm not.
Make one more persuasion check.
Oh!
With advantage, because everyone's watching me.
That's just peer pressure. That's not an
Doesn't work that way. As you do so, you see the shark moving, and it turns and then immediately starts to lunge forward again. But that has pretty much been a lot of turn for that. So back to Jimmelin.
Okay, cool. So I see the shark look like it's done talking.
You saw it circling, and it seems like a conversation was going on.
Weird. It was
all
bubbly
you understood,
sounds, very faint.
Sharks don't talk usually.
Yeah, I'm really confused, but I see it all of a sudden turn and look really aggressive.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to Are the claws assumed to be extended right now? Or how close is it to me? Maybe that's a better question.
It's about 20 feet away from you right now.
Okay. Because if I can only do 2, it mentions using the extended claws to attack, but there's also a lever to extend the claws. Could I have extended them while they were having their extended conversation so that I can actually do an attack?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I think otherwise I'll have to use 3 levers. So okay, so I'll push the which one was it?
5th.
6th to move forward, and then the 5th to attack. So then it does 2. Okay, so it's d20 plus 8.
Moving up or down?
Moving which one up or down?
The 5th lever. Slide forward. As you do so, you get right up next to the shark.
Yeah, so I move the 6th
it.
one forward to get up close to it. Oh, I didn't see the grapple thing. Okay, hang on.
You have two ways to turn this lever.
I gotta read this. Sorry, I thought that was just saying right and left. That's right.
One does damage, one grapples. That's
One grapples,
pretty much the
okay.
difference.
Okay, and so I can either choose to do 2 weapon attacks or because it says
You
there's
moved, so that was one lever. There was one lever,
Mhm.
so you grabbed one lever, okay?
Mhm.
First part of your action.
Yeah.
And you moved it forward so you can go forward, okay?
Uh-huh.
Half of your action is done.
Yeah.
You grab hold of the 5th lever, and you have an option for the second part of your action to move it
Yeah.
up or down.
The part that I'm not sure on is the each extended claw part.
Yeah,
So
you
is
have
that
2
making
claws.
2 attacks or
Yes.
and then or 2 grapples?
Yes, 2 chances to grapple.
Okay.
You either have 2 chances to grapple or 2 chances to do damage. You can't do alternate. You're either full on trying to grapple or full on trying to damage it.
Grapple doesn't give advantage, it just reduces the movement to 0, correct?
Correct. Which means it can't attack anybody else unless they're close.
I'll do the grapple.
Okay. D20 plus 8.
Yeah, that grapples.
All right. We'll give it this. All right.
Does it matter? Do I need to roll the other one? Does that
Nah.
do anything additional? Okay.
No, it doesn't hit it or hurt it. So you see this apparatus sliding forward, seeing this shark being to charge towards Talia, slides up next to her, and you see these long arms reaching out and grabbing hold of the side of it, its jaws. It starts to whip it back and forth, the whole apparatus moving, but you see that it is now attached to the apparatus. Anything else, John?
Nope.
All right.
That was my action. I don't have any bonus actions that are useful here.
All right, Risk and Viz and everybody that was attached to the apparatus still is drug forward. Oh, wait, no, Risk was ahead of it. The apparatus slides past you. What do you want to do?
Well, does Talia get her held action?
I'm going to say no. Just because that kind of stopped there for persuasion checks. It was kind of out of combat. Now we're back in.
Okay. All right. Well, the Risk is going back to the old 1-1, I guess. It's not really a 1-2.
Just the 1-1.
Does an 11 hit?
Does not.
Jesus. Okay. I'm trying again.
Oh,
Get the fuck out!
What?
Oof.
All right. That's the end of my turn.
All right. This time, seeing this apparatus move forward, you're out of the way of the Apparatus of Kwalish, but unfortunately the wake of it kind of moving through knocks you off balance, and you fire off 2 hand crossbow bolts. Neither one of them able to sink in, unfortunately. Viz, you're being drugged behind it back towards the shark.
Hey, you stupid shark. Whatever Talia was saying to you, you probably should have listened, because now she's going to kill you, and I'm going to vicious mockery. And then I'm going to try and keep my body as hidden as I can from the thing, but maintain my position on the opposite side of it, and I'm done.
All right. You feel the psychic energy sinking into the shark as it kind of turns its ire towards you, and you hide behind the apparatus. Kai.
I can still see it.
Oh, yeah. Its mouth is like
right.
in
We're on top
front.
of it.
Excellent.
This might have been a mistake. I don't know.
Kai's going to again kind of lean over top of Jot so that I could get a better view out the window, kind of pointing in the direction of the shark, and cast Grasp of Darkness.
Yeah. Grasp of Darkness will hit with the natural 20.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I don't have a drink at all. It was iced tea.
That should
Oh,
be
we're doing
way
the
more.
extra thing now, right?
The
We're
D100.
doing
That's right.
the D100 too.
We are doing the D100, yes. So 28 points of damage and a D100, please.
It's more. Are we still doing double damage?
Yeah.
No.
Just not maxed damage, right?
Yeah, not max damage.
Okay.
Yeah, max damage is replaced by the D100 roll now.
Okay.
That is a spell attack with a 50. Okay. Roll one more just to see if you get something, because this one can't happen.
Wow.
2.
A 2.
It's something like its legs blow off or something.
It was its weapon is flung in a random direction. I'm like, a tooth flies off.
We've gotten
fly
it several
out.
times, and it has not been beneficial because it's either been attached to the body or it hasn't had weapons.
I mean, yeah, this is a good time to get this one. So as you send out these grasps and tendrils of darkness, you see this giant mouth opening and then kind of scraping. You hear the squeak of metal on teeth all around you. You press the attack, able to do some massive damage with this attack as you kind of burst it from within its mouth instead of attacking it from the exterior. You can choose to gain advantage on your next attack roll against this target. If you do so, though, all enemies will have advantage on their attack rolls against you, who is inside of a giant tin metal can and can't be targeted directly.
I'll pass.
You pass on getting advantage?
Because it can't
For
attack
free?
you directly.
It can't
Guiding
attack
bolt.
you.
Guiding bolt already gave it advantage.
Can?
It's,
Or
he
can't.
says for his next attack, he gets advantage.
Right.
Yeah. All enemies basically will have advantage on you, but you
Are in the tin
are not
can.
the apparatus.
So, yeah,
You're
yeah.
inside the tin can.
Then yes, I will definitely take that.
All right. That's why I said this is a great time to get
That
this
is a
one.
fantastic time. Absolutely.
All right. So, you'll have advantage on your next attack roll against the shark.
All right.
As you just send this necrotic energy digging into it, you see it thrashing back and forth, still held in the grip of the apparatus of Kwalish, unable to escape. Anything else, Kai?
No, I'm pretty sure that's gonna do it for me. Yep,
All
that's
right. All right, Talia. This thing is said it wants to eat you.
Sure don't want to change your fucking mind?
Oblitero seems a bit crazy and not really up to negotiations anymore.
Crazy.
Well, then I'm gonna rage. And then I'm still right next to her, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was turning around to charge at you.
And you have advantage already. You don't have to reckless because of the spell.
Guiding bolt.
Mm-hmm. 14 will hit.
Plus your +2. That doesn't have the rage.
Yeah, +2.
Oh, +2. Yep.
You had your chance, bitch.
The first creature you attack on your turn becomes a target of the warriors, which hinder its attack. Advantage on the attack roll that isn't against you. It's resistant. Damn, that is so good. All right.
It's strong. It's really strong.
We'll just give it this. It's marked that it is marked by the ancestors. What are your... Give me some flavor, Talia, about how your ancestors are impeding this creature.
They're all gonna take their form and just, like, go around it, like we're peer pressuring it. And I'm just gonna say, I told you Rapture would come for you, fucker.
Oh, I like
That's
that a
solid.
lot.
Is it tritons or is it like fish?
Tritons?
More tritons?
Flounder, Sebastian.
Yeah, I thought it was if it's like Triton. There's like one hammerhead shark.
Just
That's
random
Uncle
mermaid who
that's
has a
Uncle
fork in her hand swimming around.
Rich
It's
crab
crazy.
rave.
My old pet jellyfish that passed away when I was a child.
All right. This one crab sitting there begins to speak in a Jamaican accent. It's crazy. Under the sea. All right, Talia, is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
All right. So a big hit from the trident from the Triton. Able to hit onto it, you see these spectral forms of her ancestors swirling around, harassing this creature. It's still thrashing about, unable to move. It is gonna try to break free, honestly.
Okay.
So I will need a strength check based on...
Oh, I think it
so-
gave the DC. It gave the DC. It's
15. Okay, yeah. All right. 23, so it is going to break free of that. You see the shark thrashing off both of the arms of this apparatus, burst away from it. You see it swimming around, turning its head, thrashing back and forth. But that's the end of its turn. Jot.
Okay. We'll hit it this time.
Okay.
We'll hit it.
So,
Got this.
17.
Yep.
And it's two separate attacks, right?
Yes. And that's for one Liverpool.
Yeah. Oh, I can do that again? Oh, I can wait. Oh, I could grapple it afterwards. Oh shit, yeah. Okay.
17 and 14 will both hit, so go ahead and roll
so that's,
46.
46. Oh, not just /46. So 17, nice.
Okay.
And then yeah, I'll go ahead and try and grapple it.
Okay.
Wait, I can just hit up, can't I? Yep.
Yarp.
13?
You grapple it.
Cool! This thing's awesome, guys!
Wait, is it 46 per claw or is it 2d6 per claw?
It's 2d6 per claw, but I hit it
Okay,
twice.
gotcha.
So yeah.
Yep. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, so you see the claws reaching out, just boom, boom, slamming this Obliteros across the head twice. You see it rocking back and forth, kind of being stunned for a moment, and then immediately again, and just grabs hold of it, holding it in place once again. Risk.
Going back to it.
Yeah.
That'll hit.
All right, reloading, doing it again.
Yeah.
Also hit.
Almost.
Okay.
That was almost on
That is
20.
the end of my turn.
All right, so 2 more hand crossbow bolts going out, hitting up, getting closer and closer to the eyes of this creature, trying to find a vulnerable point. You get real close, but don't hit into it. Doing solid damage. You're starting to see blood pouring out of the wounds, kind of in that foggy cloud, a mist coming up from the shark. Viz.
Do my attacks have advantage or just Kai's next attack?
It would have been the...
Well, because of his D100 thing.
Kai's attacks.
Just
Kai's
my
attack,
attacks.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a look at it and be like, yeah, told you Talia was gonna kill you, and do vicious mockery again.
Okay. It's real good at wisdom saves. 7.
Cool. 4 points of damage. Rinse and repeat.
Just
Gonna
not
go
going to
ahead and
remove
just hide
any
away.
of its... Okay. Is just kind of gurgle talking through the water
My
back
friend's
at the
gonna
shark.
beat up your friend. Yeah, well, I
My
gotta
friend's
tell
gonna
ya.
kick your ass. Yeah. All right, Viz talking shit and then hiding behind the apparatus again. Kai.
Let's see.
Out of here. Sad about it.
What can I do? Again, going to kind of lean forward over Jot and extend my hand outward. Green beam of sorts shoots out. I'm gonna throw this out again because I need to roll at advantage. 13.
Oh. It hits. 'Cause I did a 13 earlier.
Yeah, 13 will hit.
Does it? Nice.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
Plus you have advantage because of your thing.
Yeah, that
Well, he rolled
was
it
at
twice, but he got
advantage.
11.
Yeah. 8 poison damage and a con save, please.
Con save. Okay, it is good at those. 16?
Yep. So nothing happens on the con save, but it does take 8 poison damage.
All right.
And that's going to be my turn.
All right, so with this dazzling light show still coming in, as all of you on the outside recognize these arcane attacks coming out from within there. Very interesting sight, I'd imagine, seeing the submarine here and then seeing there's all these different attacks coming out of it. You see this green sickly ray hitting the shark. It kind of brushes it off, moving back and swimming forward once again. Talia.
I'm gonna go at it again with my trident.
Okay. 18 will hit.
Plus
For
2.
11. Yep. Okay.
Should have fucked off when he had the chance.
All right. Still harassed by your ancestral guardians. This thing still grappled is going to reach out and try to bite into the apparatus itself.
Okay.
Double disadvantage.
Yeah, he does have disadvantage.
Super disadvantage. 13 to hit.
Nope, it's got an AC 20.
Oh, holy cow.
You see its mouth opening
This
and
shit's got 200 HP and AC 20, y'all.
Let's carry this with us back on
I know,
land.
right? This thing's the
just
best
riding
thing
this
ever.
forever.
I don't
Everyone
know what
has
happened
tape.
to the apparatus. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You see the mouth of the Obliteros open and then kind of over the entire front of it just clonk, and you hear clong, 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 clong. It just cannot even pierce into this heavy metal and such, and slides back off as the bite attack that was pretty
Beef.
Pretty beefy?
pretty damaging.
Oof. Oof.
But is unable to pierce into it. You see Obliteros slaying back and forth, bleeding, puffs of cloudy blood smoke going through the air. Still alive, but looking very beat up. Jot.
Okay. I'm gonna do the chomp chomp again.
Chomp chomp.
Oh, hey, cool.
13 will hit.
13 twice.
13
Nice. Okay.
still hits.
Consistent.
13. What?
Okay, this is spooky.
3 13s.
And go ahead and tell me how you use the apparatus to take out Obliteros the shark.
So the first claw chomps down and just like rips out one of its fins. And then the second one just like catches it just like right at the throat, like over the mouth, and just slices it right open.
As these claws reach around, grabbing hold of the shark, you see the shark freezing for a moment as it's twisted over to the side, the fin being ripped out, its throat, the bottom of its body being grabbed. All of you hear this scream echoing through the water. Talia can understand her screaming just, "No!" and just ripped her throat out. You see the body kind of going and arching a bit as it goes limp and begins to kind of float in the water in front of you, blood bubbling out all around it.
That's not going to draw any attention.
Could I see the golden skull that he ate fall out with its contents?
No?
She?
You do not see a golden skull in her possession, no.
That had to hurt to pass.
Jot just looks over at Kai. She's like, "This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life."
Viz is gonna go up to the window and like bang on it and be like,
Yeah. Your internal clock reminds you have about 30 minutes left on those potions. You see, once again, the shark bobbing next to you.
How
very
deep are
much
we
dead.
from the surface?
You're about 100 feet deep at this point. All right, well, no, you're about 60 feet deep. You're not that deep right now. As you're looking off, you're reminded once again, and the apparatus kind of swivels back down, and you start looking ahead of you. And all of you turn around to look, and you see off in the distance this galleon that Obliteros had even kind of motioned towards, that she called the Neverluster, rather. It's about 100 feet ahead of you, and about 60 feet down.
I'm gonna bang on the window and make sure one of them are looking at me, and I'm gonna start tracing out the letters in common to Neverluster.
Hey, Kai, you wanna just...
The only one that heard Neverluster was Talia.
I'm gonna just wave and say I love them.
Can they understand me underwater if I'm telling them stuff?
You speak in
like
common?
is common? Well, like, could they understand common underwater? I didn't know the logistics.
You gotta think like talking underwater. Like if
It's
you
like
try to do
gargly
so,
voice.
it's very gurgly and such. You can usually understand each other. It's just very somewhat difficult.
How are you all doing?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty much what it sounds like. But you're able to get thoughts across.
I'm gonna point to the boat and do charades and spell out Neverluster there and like do thumbs up, like, let's go there. Yeah.
Hey, Kai, you wanna do that thing where you like talk to people? Because I feel like that makes more sense than whatever is happening over here.
Gonna point at Talia and say, "What are you trying to say to us?"
I can't do message backs. I'll be more clear.
You can
You
respond.
can
respond.
reply to message.
Oh, I thought that he could only send it and I couldn't send one back. Ship over
you can
there.
You get
double
like a one or
check.
two sentence response or something.
Let me double check.
You can. I know you can respond.
You
I
definitely
don't remember
can.
how much you can say.
Neverluster, over there. Let's go.
Yeah,
target can
they
reply in a
reply
whisper
in
that
a
only you
whisper
can
that
hear.
only I can hear.
So Talia lets you know, Kai, that the ship called the Neverluster apparently lies below, and she wants to go there.
Okay. And I look over at Jot and say, apparently this is an important ship called the Neverluster. Let's go down there and take a look at it.
Okay. Did the shark tell her that?
Yeah.
Is that what they were talking
yeah,
about?
mhm. I'm not questioning it at this point.
I've never heard of a talking shark. That's cool.
All right.
I could have set
so
you
it's-
guys up, and then you guys just killed my partner, and I'm gonna go kill all of you guys and take all the treasure.
We're gonna be surrounded by all her Triton brothers and sisters. And just stab repeatedly and rot in some grandpa
All
style.
right. All right, so as you all start making your way forward, the apparatus zooming forward once again, Viz and Risk grabbing hold of it as it passes by, Talia coming down from her rage, being able to speak with Kai. and then swimming forward with the rest of you. As you start to move down, you start sinking further in the water. It gets slightly more dark around you, but not enough where you can't see. You see this large ship. There's once again this galleon that rests on the sea bottom floor here. As you're looking across it, you see that it seems to maybe not be, that recent, but within the last maybe few years, the ship was brought to the ocean floor, as it seems to not be covered in barnacles and coral and things like that. It seems relatively fresh, I suppose, under this water. And as you're moving forward, you start to see a glimmer in the distance, something shining. And as you look closer, you think there might be something refracting the glimmer of the sun rays from above. And then it moves out of the ship and starts to grow larger. And you see what appears to be bright scales reflecting the sun moving straight towards you all. And that's where we're going to go ahead and take our 5-minute break.
Of course.
Cool.
Okay.
Have a 5-minute break and we'll see what happens.
All right, so 5 minutes. We're going to grab something to drink, get prepared for yet another discussion / battle, and see where this leads us. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
So I guess I don't know.
Oh my god.
We're learning things about one another.
So I have personally lived a very sheltered life. I grew up in Utah. I'm not exposed to those things.
All right, so for the sake of Twitch terms of service, we'll pocket that conversation for a later time.
How do we? No, that's never coming up again.
Honestly, probably for the best. So yeah, welcome back, everyone. So as I was saying before our little break there, you were sitting and heading down towards the wreck of the Neverluster, this large galleon down below the water. As you were approaching it, though, you saw what appeared to be a glimmer, maybe something shiny, a gem or some gold or something like that. Excuse me. Double excuse me. Lying down at the bottom of the ship through a kind of crack in the hull of it. However, as you got a bit closer, you saw that this glimmer was moving and began to streamline itself towards you. As you're all making your way forward, kind of starting to stop, Jot inside of it instinctively doing so, all of you having clear vision of this glimmering creature beginning to move forward. As it gets closer, you start to see hints of not quite gold, but bronze across it, veined with green, kind of emerald shining through it as well. As you see what appears to be a dragon is moving towards you. As it gets about 80 feet or so within all of you, it starts holding out its gigantic wings. It flaps them once, slowing itself and then stopping before all of you. And as it looks, you see its serpent-like head bobbing down and looking around, bubbles kind of floating up from its nose, and you hear this voice echoing through the water in common. It says, You who enter into my domain, what is it that you want?
Hi,
Hello.
my name's Viz.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Viz, what do you want?
What's your name?
You see the dragon kind of thinking for a moment, and you see it kind of resting back a bit, and you see a claw come up and rubbing its chin. I am, Xenophon.
Xenophon, it's so nice to meet you. I've never gotten to meet a dragon before, but I've been reading a lot about dragons recently, and that's really cool, because, I know there's a lot of different types of dragons, and there's different colors and different, things, and I've just been reading a lot about you, and it's so cool to meet you, and you're really big, and you seem really strong. I have 2 friends inside this contraption right
this
here.
This whole time that Viz is going on, it's just like... just barely perceptible, and you see the dragon kind of raising up a claw at him. Yes, it's quite nice. Flattering, really, that you would know so much about us. I ask again, what is it that you were doing here?
Hold on.
Risk is just like flatlined right now.
Steve forgot. I got to go back 2 sessions and read the quest.
We're supposed to ask him why he was here, basically. Learn of its intentions.
Okay. Oh yeah, we're here to talk with you and to make sure that you're a super nice guy and that you don't pose any threat to the people of Waterdeep.
I am no guy. I am a dragon, if you haven't noticed.
But you could be a guy if you wanted to, because you have the ability to shapeshift.
No, I don't.
I bet you could if you really wanted to.
I don't think that's how it works.
Maybe when you're older.
Thanks for a moment. No, I'm quite sure if I knew how to shape change, I would be able to. I would know that. Yes, I would know that. Well, you see him kind of swimming a bit cautiously as he moves a bit closer to you, about 60 feet away at this point. Kind of looking around. He looks at Viz and kind of looks around at the rest of you. What's brought you here? This strange one here? I can barely understand and likes to talk a lot. Why are you here? And he looks over towards Risk.
Risk is going to say in Draconic, because he's like not intentionally speaking a different language, but he's like been worshipping a dragon almost his entire life. And this is the first time he's ever met one, so he's like a little emotional right now. But he's yeah, exactly. I'm going to say we were asked by the Grey Hands, the mages in the city, to come speak to you and see why you're here. Apparently some sailors have been a little startled at your presence. And then realizing that he's speaking in a different language, will tell Viz what he said.
As you ask Zelafarn this, you see the dragon tilting his head to the side. I didn't mean to frighten anyone. I wanted some answers. I wanted to know what was happening up above. Everyone looks at me like I'm some dangerous creature, and I just came down here for treasure and to explore Waterdeep. Yes, the talkative one, Viz.
Sorry, God. Can I insight check the dragon?
Sure.
Is it a truthful dragon? Does it really not want to harm people, and did it not mean to scare them? Or is it kind of a dick and it wanted to scare them?
You hear truth in its words. As Zelafarn speaks, he seems kind of confused and genuinely, seems to mean it when he says he didn't mean to harm anyone. You feel there's something off, though. Like, something not necessarily untoward, but something just seems off in his demeanor. You see this dragon moving up and still putting off a boastful presence, his chest pushed outwards, his wings unfurled in a very menacing-looking presence, even before you as he moves forward. Something just seems off about it, though. Can't quite put your finger on it.
I'm just going to try and listen to see if I can hone in on whatever that is a little bit more. Just like specifically trying to figure out what it is. The feeling I'm getting currently is that the dragon seems a little like a little out of place with his statement of like, yeah, I would know that about myself. Like, it was kind of not super confident. So I wonder if he has like confidence issues, but I don't know. I just kind of want to listen for a little bit and see if I can pinpoint exactly what I'm feeling off about before I open my mouth again.
Okay. Yeah, Zelafarn once again responds that he meant no harm. He was regarded as this dangerous beast, and everyone freaks out when they see him. And he seems you see his kind of eyes drooping a little bit as he says that. Seems a bit saddened by the fact that everyone looks at him as a monster.
I don't think that people thought you were dangerous, I think they more respected your power. Dragons are known for their strength and the ferocity.
You see Zillifar kind of raising his head up and his chin rising up. He says, yes, that we are. Very dangerous creatures we dragons are. So, of course, no one would dare to try to take our treasure that we have worked hard to start collecting here in the harbor. That is not your intentions, is it?
Not your treasure, no. We're here looking for some treasure, but any you've claimed is yours. We're given a job. But to come speak to you and also a job to gather things from wreckages, but you've laid claim to something, it's yours.
As you say that, you see his neck kind of outstretching as he looks towards you, kind of scrutinizing you, Risk, with his eyes. Are you sure you're not here for my treasure?
Can I intentionally fail an insight check against him?
No?
I'm quite sure. I've worshipped the dragon my entire life, and I would not steal from your kind.
So, you are not here for treasure, just to speak to me?
Not your treasure. We are here for treasure, but what you've laid claim to is yours. We're not going to
With that, you see his neck kind of come back up towards his body. He says, well, there is much treasure down here. I've been searching for months, really, and I've found all sorts of interesting things, mostly this odd-looking shade of coin. It's like platinum, but not quite there. It seems to be discarded everywhere, honestly. But either way, it's very shiny. God damn it. Broke myself.
Electrum? He had his piles of Electrum.
An entire horde of Electrum.
But with that, you see him... you see Zillifar moving forward once again, getting about 20 feet ahead of you as he swims forward. As he looks towards all of you, kind of serpentine around, he says, so, are all of you from Waterdeep then? And you see him looking around, you see his head tilting to the side as he looks through the little shutters up on the front of the apparatus and kind of sees Jot's face and Kai kind of looking over his shoulder. Yes, all of you. Are you from the city then?
We live there. We're not all necessarily from there.
Risk, make a dexterity saving throw.
Did he use his breath weapon on me?
Risk, make a dexterity saving throw. You were almost caught off guard to the point where you almost fall off the apparatus and release it as Zillifar swims up right in front of you as you begin to speak. His head, much larger than yours, like this close. He's right in your face. He's, oh, tell me about it. Tell me about the city of Waterdeep. I've heard so much about it, but honestly, no first-hand accounts. Tell me.
He's super fucking young. Holy shit.
Right? He's so relatable.
Yeah.
How odd, like, does our sound from inside carry to the outside at all?
In a very tinny, kind of distant sound. Yeah, you can understand what's happening, especially with the Zillifar moving closer. You can hear what's going on.
I wasn't sure how much we could hear inside this thing.
It's
not that big.
It's a very diverse city. There seems to be some trouble going on at the moment. Lots of different people fighting, but it's a diverse city with lots of different people and faiths and businesses and foods and it's unlike anything I've ever seen. It's a very large gathering of just everyone.
Oh, do they still have those what is it you call the festivals? Yes, the festivals. I've heard about some very interesting these celebrations, these festivals that they have here in Waterdeep. Those still occur
all the time.
Oh, could you tell me about them?
Alec, what can I tell about the festivals?
I mean, you know that, like, Greengrass is coming up, this big festival going across and talking, or basically the announcement of spring for the city of Waterdeep.
What about the one that's currently going on?
Fancy dresses.
Yeah, I mean, Kai won't be quiet about this current one going on right now, so, I mean, you could tell him about that one. He's been very
Kai's in, like, full Renaissance gear right now. He's got, like, the swimming in the water and everything. Yeah. No, Kai's in the ship.
the Vernal Trussu Festival that's going on right now. You know that Greengrass is coming up. Greengrass, detail-wise, for the society, it's there's lots of wreaths and fresh flowers that are adorning, doorways and all throughout the city and such. There are tastings, which are wine tastings that are all throughout the city, where people bring in their first batch of wine for the season. There are some ones centered towards the gods of Faerun, so Shantae and Eldat, or I think Eldat's a god if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's basically a celebration of the beginning of spring, this kind of revitalization of life throughout the Sword Coast and especially in Waterdeep. That's the biggest festival on the horizon right now. You know, after the next month, there will be another festival that's celebrated kind of off and on throughout the entire month called Trolltide, which is the easiest way to describe that would be
Halloween, right?
Halloween, except Halloween in the medieval ages. So if you don't say to these kids and give them candy when they essentially tell you trick or treat, they will come back and just completely ruin your house.
How's it medieval? That's fucking pretty common day.
I mean, kids are all nice nowadays or something. I've never been TP before, and I haven't had candy in the last 5 years. So, but anyway, you have those ideas of festivals ahead.
So the next big one we got coming up is the Green Grass Festival, where they celebrate the coming of spring with flowers and plants and wine tastings, and then after that we've got Trolltide, where people dress up, and children specifically go home to home for treats and gifts from the people who live there. They dress up in costumes, and it's lots and lots of festivals. Right now, people are just dressing their best clothes. My friend Kai inside the apparatus is very well dressed for this ceremony. Probably peek in there and see him. He's very, very handsome.
That's fascinating, really. I've inquired a few times. You spoke of sailors. Well, they were the ones hanging out by the docks, so I went to ask them about the fancy attire I had seen on a few people and such, and as well as any of these festivals coming up, and, well, half of them just ran away, and the other half were so shocked to see me, they couldn't say anything. I was afraid that I was not a monster that was going to eat them or something barbaric such as that.
I think they just didn't feel like they deserved to be in your grace. They didn't feel like they deserved to be blessed by your presence.
With that, you see Zelifarn sitting back and...
Zelifarn, what is it you're doing in the harbor of Waterdeep?
Well, I'm... As it's been noted by several people, I am a dragon. I set out from my parents, and decided that I wanted to start making a horde of my own, and what better place to start? I'd heard about this city of splendors.
Is he like the dragon equivalent of a low-level adventurer?
Kinda.
Just a little bit
you're
more
definitely
deadly.
paying attention to everything. You see that this guy is like, you think an 18-year-old kid setting out on his own, heading out into the wide world. He has some smarts. He knows he's a dragon. He could probably kick all of your asses if he wants to. He knows that. But he doesn't know shit about the world. He is completely ignorant to a lot of different things. And he's super excited about everything. He thinks his festivals are awesome. Like, that little pinprick of, like, what was off now settles in your mind that he's kind of like a teenager, or
like
a younger
me.
adult.
But
There's
more deadly.
Yeah, bigger teeth. So, yeah, you see that Zelifarn is, kind of relaxing and such, looking at you all and conversing and such about the different festivals and things of that nature. And he plays it off, says, well, the horde isn't that large as of now as far. I've found a few of those coins and a few different items here and there, but I haven't stolen anything, of course. Just what I've been able to plunder from off the seafloor. Things long forgotten. No one else wants them, obviously. So I've taken them for myself, and I will defend them. I hope you understand that. It is in my nature. But, yes, I mean, if you would like some suggestions, there are a few ships, and he kind of points off in a direction with one clawed hand. There are a few ships I haven't gotten to yet. If you are in search of your own hoard, you could maybe find something there. Regarding what you were sent there, I do apologize. I didn't mean to frighten anyone. I just wanted to know things. I wanted to learn. I wanted to, in one way, be a part of your world.
Part of your world.
It's not that great. It's better down here. Life is
Yes,
much
down-
better.
Down where it's wetter, I do find it much more relaxing.
Calm
Take
down.
it from me.
I mean, look at all your stuff, though. Isn't it neat? I mean, your collection's pretty close to complete.
No, there's always room for more.
Look at this trove, and the treasure's untold.
If you guys
Man,
don't
look at our
stop it, I'm
brand.
ending the stream right
I swear.
I knew I was going to regret it as soon as it popped into my head. Start making Little Mermaid references. But yeah, all of you get the impression that Zelafarn is very much the embodiment of a young bronze dragon. He is a dragon. He is a fearsome creature, one that could cause a lot of problems, but he seems to be more inquisitive and somewhat talkative, based on what all of you know, especially Risk with dragons. He's pretty talkative, pretty inquisitive about it, but definitely does not seem to mean harm or anything like that. Definitely not a threat to the city.
Zelafarn, would you like it? Like if we were able to, if we came back out and told you more stories about Waterdeep sometimes?
With that, you see him kind of tilting his head, elongating his neck, looking down at you. Yes, little
Or
one in
about
there.
where we're from, or anything like. Oh, sorry. I'm Jimmelin Overbrook Thunderspark, but people just call me Jot.
Jot, then. Yes, I would very much like to hear stories from above or from afar, really. Waterdeep is one place that, well, there isn't much knowledge to us dragons. We know about it. It is a great city, the city of splendors and all of that. But dragons are not allowed within its borders, and so we don't know much finer details, I suppose, of the inner workings of the city. So knowing about it and hearing stories from within would be, well, quite interesting for me, yes.
Okay. I don't know that we'll be able to like come underwater a lot. Can you come up to the surface?
With that, he thinks, some people do give me odd looks. I can come close to the docks before being repelled, but if you were able to have a set day and time or a by 10-day kind of thing set up, things of that nature, we could work it out, yes.
We
I have
should-
so many stories I could tell you.
We
He's
should
a
make
great storyteller.
we should make a buoy that has a bell on it, and we just ring it and it comes to the surface, or comes close by and we can talk to it.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Just
I
stand
have
on,
excellent hearing.
stand on the docks, hold me by my ankles, stick my head in, and I'll shout in Draconic.
And maybe you could tell us stories about like where you're from and about like your folks and stuff. I don't really know very much about dragons.
I could. I imagine, might be a bit boring, but
I don't
if
think
you
so at
would,
all.
Did you know we named our money after you?
I did not. You named it Zelafarns.
Yeah. No. They're called dragons.
Yeah, no.
Our gold pieces.
Yes, of course. That makes much more sense. That's.
I'll call them
interesting.
Zelafarns, though. It's a great idea.
That's flattering. I would appreciate it, of course, but I don't want to impose.
Is a copper close to a bronze?
They all have their own names.
Well, I know. I'm
I
just
mean,
saying, like from the color.
Color-wise, Yeah, kinda, I guess.
Or is his color closer to a gold piece?
He's probably a bit closer to gold.
I'll pull out a gold piece. First, Zelopharn.
Here's what Zelopharn looks like.
So fucking cool.
I know, right?
Fun.
So cool.
So with
How
that,
much time
Zelopharn,
has passed, Havoc?
it's getting closer to 45 minutes or so. Like y'all aren't quite
God,
out of
I just
potion,
drank
but
my thing 15 minutes ago.
it's getting a little bit closer to those of y'all sitting outside, or at least to Risk and Viz. With that, Zelopharn kind of nods. Says, I would quite like it if you visited again in some way or shape or form. I don't plan on leaving here, within the docks here. It's quite interesting. There are ships aplenty here and there, and some people do deem themselves worthy to speak with me, and I hear some interesting stories, but you're the first to come down here, and in such a strange contraption as well. It's quite odd. You see him kind of swimming around it, looking at it. He says, yes, it's cool. Yes, cool. But yes, if you would like to visit, I promise I would not harm you or do anything untoward, as long as you don't mess with my stuff, of course. Understanding. But yes, once again, if your goal, I do not want to hold you up any longer. If your goal is to find your own stuff, you would just head off that direction for about 5 more minutes or so. You'll find a few shipwrecks there. I haven't explored them. I can't guarantee they'll have anything, but maybe they will, and I will not stop you from taking it.
Do you want to come with us? And maybe I can tell you some stories and as we search?
With that, you see him kind of turning around, looking back towards the ship. He says, well, my horde has been without me for some time now, and I have a lot to process after hearing about this green grass, as well as this fancy dress festival going on. I want to process this. So if you don't mind, I will take my leave now, let you go about your way, but I do very much would like to speak with you again.
I think we'll definitely try to figure out a way to do that again.
Excellent, excellent. Well, to all of you, my new friends, yes, my new friends, I wish you a good day and a good luck, of course, to your pillaging. And with that, you see him kind of nodding back and forth, all of you, his neck bouncing up and down. And then you see him turning around and swimming very quickly back into the water, heading down towards this galleon in the water.
Risk is going to shout after him. Have you ever met Bahamut?
No!
Viz, what were you? Oh, never mind. You were asking him to bring it. Come on.
Yeah, I was going to invite him to come treasure hunting for us.
It'd be very nice to have him as a
And then
party
he just-
member for a little bit.
Right?
A party member we can't take
Can we
in
have a
the city
bronze dragon NPC that's a party member?
that has to stay at 50 feet outside the city limits at all times. If we can get you out of the city, we have a friend that will kick your ass.
We make a dragon, and it could be our dragon sword, and we play out on the edge, and it comes up through the water.
Just
Our
stays in the water.
Our Gojira.
Always.
Gojira!
Gojira. Alright, so what do y'all want to
Shall
do?
we?
Zelopharn has departed back down to the wreck of the Neverluster, but he has told you that there may be some treasure off in the distance. You feel like you would have enough time to go search for a little bit, and then have enough time to head back to the surface before your potions of water breathing would take within their effects, essentially.
And I assume, like, once we're on the surface, this thing can float on the surface, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they can, like even if we just make it to the surface, they can just hang on and we putter back to the...
Yeah, 100%.
Let's go find some
I'll
treasure.
Push the lever forward and head towards where he pointed.
Alright. Jot, since you are the pilot of the apparatus, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
With guidance.
Guidance.
Investigation.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Did you actually give me guidance, Guy? Okay, cool.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
May as well.
21.
You're kind of, I assume you're just kind of like...
Is
leaning
Viz
over my
trying
shoulder,
to
like,
inspire Jemilyn as she's searching for treasure?
Not unless you didn't communicate it to me, no.
Oh, yeah.
No. Alright.
Kai's just kind of like his hands are kind of like on Jot's
Yeah, like,
shoulders, like
Look over
peeking
there,
out.
maybe?
I'm
Like-
looking for purple stuff still.
Basically,
But
what
unless
he's doing is he's trying to watch what Jot's doing, and anytime it looks like she's getting ready to maneuver, like I need to go and pick this up, or I want to look at this thing, he's there to cast guidance. Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, that lever, that one right there. She's like, yeah, I know, Kai.
I know. Thanks.
Backseat driving.
So I'll say with all your friends helping you, go ahead and roll one more investigation check. So you have advantage, quote unquote. Hard to beat a 19, but maybe you will.
Oh, fuck yeah, I did.
Okay.
And does she get the 1d4 of that too?
Well,
Yeah, the 2.
add
Just the
on,
2.
Yeah,
Just
20,
the
26. Okay.
26.
Yeah, so 26.
Fuck yeah.
Alright. So, to kind of close things down a little bit here, to your underwater journey here. As you depart from Zelifarn and the wreck of the Neverluster, you head off into the distance for a few more minutes, and you find, as Zelifarn had promised, a couple of more bit smaller ships, not quite the galleon size that Zelifarn had occupied, but pretty large, and you start to search through them. The three of you outside kind of help by moving around and kind of scoping things out, unable to lift a lot of heavy things, but Jot rather, moving through, able to easily do so with the apparatus, controlling it with flips and turns of the levers within it. Kai watching the entire time. Kai, overall, with just your passive, you're able to get a decent grasp of how to operate this machine.
I'd say
You
I
don't
might even
see...
be like, okay, pull that one up. Yep. Okay. That
Okay,
one down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Having him assist you and everything, you get a decent grasp of how to operate this machine. As you go through, you're able to actually find a...
Also, this thing does have light. I just noticed. Yeah, there's light for it.
Has
totally.
a little headlamp or something.
It has
Got
headlights?
It has
headlamps
little
on it.
headlamps. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
yep.
what I thought it did, but then y'all
That's
said
what
no,
those
and I'm
are,
like,
yeah.
okay, you probably read it more than I
scrolled down
did.
as far as I needed to. It was the
Oh yeah, 8.
I'm
yeah.
not
30
blind.
feet of...
Yep.
Yeah,
yep,
you see the lights shining back and forth and shining on things that you all are able to find. You're able to find a few unique looking items. Nothing magical per se, but things that seem to have some wealth to them. And as you gather all these things up, you're able to carry them in the claws, kind of finally getting done. You have different, kind of golden vases and silver chalices and things of that nature. Things you would find on, like, expensive ships that had royalty and such onto it. You find a decent haul, of this. And with that, you bring that with you, feeling that your time is kind of run out with the potions of water breathing at the very least. So you decide to head back towards Grinda and her dock.
Can I have
House.
stuffed some things into my pack? Just like not a ton, but anything I could fit, just so it's like stuff that I've got on me that we don't have to mix into the stuff we're splitting.
Make an investigation check.
All right, I'm fantastic at these. Let's just yeah.
Okay. All right. You're able to find a couple things that you stuff into your own pack. Slows you down a bit, but you're able to use the apparatus to propel you through the water, so it isn't too big a deal. After you get done searching, Viz and Risk kind of looking at Jot, you understand that they're probably running out of air soon as far as being able to magically breathe in the water. So you head back up to the surface. You find yourself out kind of in the middle of the naval harbor. As you kind of continue on, you head back up to the north, heading towards the Mistshore docks. After about 15 minutes or so of cruising across in a very straight line, not in a directionalist kind of moving back and forth searching, you find yourself moving back into the dock owned by Grinda.
Did I find anything purple?
We'll see. Roll... Viz, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Yeah.
There are... Okay. So as you roll back in, kind of going in forward, you raise up the arms of the apparatus, these claws rather, and kind of set this wealth on there. There's coins mixed with, silverware and cutlery and, glasses and chalices and vases and things of that nature, all set up there. All in all, looking over it, you feel that what has been placed up there probably amounts to about, probably a good 240 gold or so overall. You see Grinda strolling out, and she looks over and says, well, that's a decent find, as all of you start climbing out of the water and such, climbing out of the apparatus, Jot and Kai. And she looks over and says, well, I think that we could separate this quite easily, I think. She kind of moves one of the vases aside. You see her kind of looking down. There's one chalice that's ringed with a few purple gems around the edge of it. And you see that purple lines of color go down the gold of it. She says, this one's quite interesting, but I don't like purple. And she shoves it aside back to your pile, and she starts to separate everything. As she does so, you see that it seems relatively split as far as what the amount of gold and everything is in it to half and half. Your pile has 120 gold worth of art items, essentially, and her has 120 as well. Risk, you were able to find 60 gold worth of art items.
Damn son.
And yeah, you see a couple things that are purple viz, including the chalice that I described. So with that, Grinda looks over and says, well, you have brought a decent haul, I suppose. She kind of looks over at the claws and says, well, I guess you couldn't have carried much more, but, well, that's fine, I suppose. So, yes, I'll take half, and you will take half, as we promised.
Mm-hmm.
I think we promised some more things, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, the stone, yes. As I said before, I sent my familiar with it to our mausoleum, our family mausoleum, to be hidden there. Unfortunately, I've lost contact with my familiar. But yes, the location, yes. With that, she thinks for a moment and looks around. You see her disappear into the front room for a few moments and then comes back with a parchment and a quill. Begins to scribble a map. She's like, yes, just go there. It's through this plot here, over to this one. Yes. And she holds up and hands over a map. And you see this map is leading over to a specific place in Waterdeep. A place called the City of the Dead. It is a place that is a burial ground for people within Waterdeep. It is unlike other graveyards, though. Whereas in most graveyards, it is a sullen, sometimes creepy place. The City of the Dead is constantly tended and maintained. It is a place of beauty. It is a place of reveling one's life, not necessarily lamenting their death. With that information in mind, she marks down a passage moving through towards an above-ground mausoleum. She says, there is a crypt below that he may have gone to. I don't know. I sent him with specific instructions to take the stone there and wait until I returned. I was hoping these Xanathar Guild thugs would leave me be, and I could retrieve it at a later date, but I understand your plight, and you have helped me, so I will help you. So here's the directions to it if you would like to go there. And yes. And she turns around, digging in one pocket, and she shifts over in this kind of like lab coat that she's wearing, pulls out what appears to be an old kind of silverish key. Says, you'll need this to get into our mausoleum, actually. It's locked most of the time. But if you have that, you'll be able to get through the large stone doors of it. Don't disturb the remains. It's my family, after all. I didn't know any of them, but still, it'd be disrespectful to do so.
Of course.
Yes.
What does the stone look like?
The stone, yes. It was quite an odd artifact. It was, she begins to recollect, it fit in the palm of my hand. It was very small, but very distinct, yes. She thinks for a moment. Well, have you ever heard the phrase that it stares back, yes? The stone had 3 eyes on it. It was green in its coloration, and there were these 3 eyes, one above the other, that no matter what I did, even before it began to speak to me, it always seemed to be watching me as I moved around. It was a tad unsettling, but I've seen worse things, I suppose. But it was a very interesting, a very unique
What did
stone.
it say to you?
Honestly, it's said only one thing clearly, and I didn't like what it said, honestly, but it said, not you. Not you. And it kept saying it over and over and over again until I dropped it, and then the voice left my head. But it just kept saying, not me, not me. I don't understand why.
Well, hopefully, if we find it there, we can maybe bring it back and we can look at it together.
With that, you see Grinda perk up and says, yes, you could bring it back here. I would be happy to help you with it, honestly. I would love to have more time to examine such an interesting magical item.
Would you mind, like my friend Kai asked for, could you show us the route that you're familiar? What was your familiar's name again? I'm sorry.
Yes, my familiar's name.
That
Very
I'm
dear to
familiar
me.
with.
I'm familiar with that. Sorry, I don't have that note open. Give me a second.
It means the world to me. That thing.
And what kind of familiar do you have?
She said it was a mouse.
Yeah.
A rat.
Rat.
I feel like I gave it a name last time and I never wrote it down. Oops. Okay, so we're gonna give it. Yeah, my rat's name was Theodore, actually. He was a small rat, inconspicuous, as I liked him to be, amongst many others, but loyal, of course, as Jimlin would know, of course, as our familiars are to be. But yes, I sent him through a direct route. I didn't really plan it out. I guess I should have. But, oh well, it seems that he may have arrived there, at our family's mausoleum. I'm not too sure, but I have a feeling he did.
So she doesn't know the exact route, because she didn't
No.
tell it an exact route.
No.
Of course.
Can I? Do I feel like the story she's telling us is honest? That where she sent the stone and sent to the mausoleum is an honest, true story, and she's not sending us to like a death trap.
Make an insight check.
Sick.
Grinda is eccentric. Grinda is passionate about her work. Grinda is not a liar.
Okay, cool. That's what I want to make sure. I just want to make sure she's not like
I was gonna
booby trapping us or something like that.
She 100 every time she speaks about her familiar, you do notice that, like, compared to Jot's familiarity and friendship she has with Seamus, with Theodore, Grinda does not have that same connection.
He's a
On
tool.
realizing that Theodore was dead, she was kind of like, that sucks, I'll have to resummon him. That's expensive. Well, I have money now because you brought me money. You definitely got that disconnect, but at the same time, she seems to be speaking the truth. She's not lying about it. She believes her familiar made it to the mausoleum. Her familiar did have the Stone of Galore in its possession. And her familiar is most certainly not responding to her and must be dead.
By the way, your apparatus worked beautifully. That thing.
Of course it did. It's my
Have
creation.
you ever gone down in the water with it though? It was so
Yes,
cool.
A couple of times. There was a shark, a very large one, that kept harassing me, though.
Yeah, we ran into that too. Yeah.
Oh,
The claws were great though.
I forgot to mention that, didn't I?
We killed
Oh.
it.
Oh, well, see, no harm, no foul then. Yes, I apologize for not mentioning it beforehand, but yes, that shark harassed me every time I went out, and, well, I can't do any more work if I'm dead, so I decided not to venture out in that area until I could find some people to assist me with that problem. So, I thank you for killing the shark. Now I can venture out and search on my own. That's glorious, really. Yes.
I would be careful. We did run into a couple of other things down there that seemed more dangerous than the shark, though.
Make a deception check.
Am I lying?
What? We did run into a dragon. with
Fucking
a
dragon.
shark.
Oh, you said a couple of things. That's why I was
Oh.
like, deception check.
Oh, okay, fair. I wasn't actually meaning to lie.
and
Okay, fair, fair.
and water pressure and Merrows and Talia.
She rolled a 1.
I wasn't actually meaning to lie. I should have made a couple. That was unintentional, but oh well.
With that, you see Grinda. Oh, it'll be fine, child. I know how to operate that thing in my sleep. It'll be fine. I promise you, no worries there. I can handle the apparatus quite well, and I can defend myself if necessary.
Right, but there is a dragon. Yeah.
A dragon?
Yes, there's a bronze dragon down there.
Dragons are not allowed into Waterdeep, I thought.
It's not in the city.
An interesting plot hole. Or, loophole. Loophole, I said. Well, is this dragon untoward to strangers? Did you speak with it? Or run into it?
If you try taking its
It threatened us
treasure trove,
multiple times.
You see her kind of turning away from you and looking at the apparatus. Are there any holes in it?
Not damaged a bit.
Are you sure? If you ran into a dragon...
Well,
We were very...
we were very careful.
Don't say anything about the bite marks.
We were very careful.
Yeah, there's large scrape marks from Obliteros over the front of it where it missed
Okay,
its
sorry.
attack, but still scraped
the
it.
shark did scrape it a bit. Yes, yeah.
But it didn't take any structural damage.
Yeah, it didn't. I don't think it got any leaks in it. Hopefully.
I mean, we made it back, didn't we?
Yeah, you're both quite dry, so I guess there were no
You might want to check it
holes
over
in
though, for sure.
Oh, I plan to. Trust me, child, I plan to. Well, a dragon. I'll have to think about that, I suppose. Maybe I'll just reach out to you again. Yes.
Honestly,
Yes. Uh-huh.
You can find us at Trollskull Manor.
50-50 share every time we go down for you.
60-40.
I own the apparatus, honestly. You could not
And
get
we're the
such
ones
items
putting our
without me.
lives at risk.
I mean, have you seen our friend here? She can move as fast and can go even deeper than your apparatus.
Without
We
us,
will
you wouldn't.
So
we'll talk about it. some
we'll
more
negotiate
another time.
terms next time we come back to see you.
Yes. I'm not interested in the business as such. It was a pleasure doing business with you all, though. But, and she kind of eyes over as you have all kind of gathered up your items and such. Once again, totaling 120 gold pieces of art items and such. She looks over and kind of nods to hers and says, "Well, I have things to sell and money to make and repairs to make as well. It was a pleasure, I suppose. Get out." And you see her turning around and just completely ignoring you, moving over and starting to like pile her stuff into bags. So with that, taking the hint, you all head out of Grinda's small home, heading out back into Mistshore, and back into the city of Waterdeep. What do y'all want to do?
I think we need to follow up the lead that we have.
for the mausoleum.
I agree, but I do want to see the mages first.
I think we should see the
What
mages
mages?
first. To
The ones who sent us on the job for this talk to the dragon.
the
Greyhand
Blackstaff.
people?
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't really say how to contact him, did they?
Mm-mm.
Well, I
They
assume
had
it was
a
like last
tower,
time. They've got a
Blackstaff Tower. Yeah, if I scroll back in my notes, I remember which stones to
here
tap
it
and on
is.
which order.
It's over here.
It's Diagon Alley.
The
Dang
city
it,
or
Allie.
the dead people area is like down to the south, isn't it?
I thought it was...
City of the Dead.
City of
Sorry,
the
it's
Dead
over
is
there.
the east.
Okay. So we have to go north.
City of the Dead is almost its own ward.
Okay.
Right.
So you can head up to the north, kind of wrapping around Mount Waterdeep and head up through the castle ward up to Blackstaff Tower, or you could detour over to the City of Dead. It's up to you. It's at this point, it's been a little bit over an hour. It's just past lunchtime, so you're able to tell through the overcast as you move out. Unfortunately, it is raining a bit.
We're already
drizzling
soaked.
for the most part. Yeah, you're already soaked. It's really not that big a deal, except to Jot and Kai, who are dry up until this point. It's kind of dismal weather, but there's still plenty of sunlight and such to be able to see. You know that it's a little bit past noon at this point, so closing in on 1 o'clock or so. You have about half a day of things to do. It'll take you probably about an hour to get to Blackstaff Tower. Probably close to that to get all the way to the City of Dead as well.
I mean, we can go straight to the City of the Dead, but I would.
Yeah, I'd say let's just go see it dead then.
All right.
Agreed.
Yep. Everybody in agreement? Okay. Alrighty then. So as you start making your way across,
Is walking considered light activity?
Yeah.
upon further inspection, yes. When it comes to situations of trying to get a long rest, or a short rest rather, walking does include.
Okay, I wasn't actually
activities
trying to
such
be
as
an
that.
asshole. I just didn't know if we could.
Yeah, that was something because I had allowed it in a couple of my games where you could get like a short rest in for trap while you were walking and such, and it turns out you can't do that according to the rules. That being said, since I am in a forgiving mood and I still have half a beer left, everybody owes me a drink and you can get a short rest in.
Hey.
I just really want to make sure you guys are well rested. I just want to see if I can tend to your wounds in any way. I have this healer's kit, and if you guys need help out with anything, let me know.
I mean, are you doing a song?
Yeah, song rest.
What kind of song you playing?
Song for us?
See,
sing a
less
song?
less than trying to actually sing songs. I just want to make sure I'm really encouraging with my words, and I just want to be inspirational to them, and I want to be maybe a little bit of interpretive dancing as well to really kind of soothe their wounds.
I
Dog
think
is
your
not a fan of the
dog
interpretive dance.
not a fan. Yeah. What kind of interpretive dance and inspirational words are you performing?
So I mean, the interpretive dance is just a lot of hip shaking. But then I
Okay.
can see that, yeah, that probably gets Risk a little too excited, so I'll cut back on that a little bit. And then just kind of talk with everyone individually, see if there's anything I can do to help with their wounds, and just let them know like how awesome that whole experience was. That I'd never been underwater for that long before, and just see if there's anything I can do to help them.
All right, I'll allow your song rest then.
Yeah, so everyone who uses a hit die, you have to use a hit die to get it. You will get an extra 4.
Okay.
Cool.
Neat.
All right. Who have I not picked on this session? I haven't picked on Kai a bunch. Kai, go ahead and roll me a D100.
Everyone ooh and ah. 44. Oh shit, guys. A 44.
Oh no. We're dead.
Whoa!
Oh no.
From a percentile perspective, whoa!
Whoa. I know Kung Fu.
I know Kung Fu.
All right. Fortunately, nothing fun happens. All right. So back to what I was doing before I sidetracked myself. Or in Waterdeep. So you're heading across the city, heading towards the city, or the City of the Dead. As you make your way across the different wards, heading out of the... Oh, come on, Zoom. Heading out of the reaches of the dock ward into the trades ward, and kind of passing to the castle ward as well. You make a brief pass by the yawning portal, and then make your way towards the City of the Dead. You know that the City of the Dead has a few entrances. Most of it is completely surrounded by this large black iron fencing all around it that has a few gates throughout it. During the daytime, the gates are open for anyone to enter and go pay respects, and you even see people moving back and forth as you enter into the City of Dead, having picnics here. It is very similar to something that does not fit this music at all. There we go. Oh, that one. It's very similar to like what you would expect to be like a couple here from the Northeast, like Central Park, or a lavish park-like setting. There is plenty of greenery around. There are mausoleums, there are graveyards with headstones and such all across them, but this place is maintained like it is a sanctum of life and preservation of it, even though it does contain many dead. Kai tries his best to contain his excitement.
For
As you make your way through,
aspects of it, like, yeah.
Basically, so Jot's been like incredibly excited the whole time we were dealing with the submarine, and now it's like, oh, I go into the dead place, and then Kai's just like, yeah.
Well, and the fact that it is kind of like they're playing up the life of the person more than anything. That's like, to him, he's like, oh yes, oh this is cool. I like this. This is all right.
yeah,
This
like I said, it hits home. Like I said,
Yeah.
for all of you that are somewhat new, I mean, Jot being kind of the exception, but the rest of you being somewhat new to Waterdeep itself, you know that the city of Waterdeep has a bit of a different perspective on their graveyard compared to other cities or villages and such. Like I said, they very much seem to respect the life of the individual versus worrying or focusing on their death. So this place is beautiful. There are gardens, there are greeneries all around you and such, and everything seems to be very peaceful here. As you make your way through the City of the Dead, you find yourself moving back and forth, seeing different names across tombstones. They kind of blur together at this point, but you see children moving back and forth playing in this place. You see picnics being held out. You see a lot of people kind of meandering through, despite the weather, kind of being a bit dismal. Most of the Waterhavians here don't seem to mind. This is a normal spring day for them, so they're treating it and making the most of it as they can. With the cover of rain, you find yourself following the directions on your map here, which was very ambiguous up until it got to the City of the Dead. It was kind of a straight line through the wards, and then as soon as you got to the City of Dead, you saw that Grinda had kind of marked a pathway from a couple of the different entrances. Finding yourself being able to find some of these pathways, you start getting along the trail and moving down. And as you do so, you see a fairly large above-ground mausoleum before you. You see it standing about 18 feet or so, 18 to 20 feet, rising up into the sky, or up into the air, rather, before you, kind of in a almost squarish, but the front end of it kind of curves off in different directions, made out of this worked stone. You don't see any fancy filigree or anything like that worked into it like you've seen on a few of these mausoleums. It seems a bit more plain compared to them. However, as you walk around it, you start to see what appears to be some worked stone and then some doorway, or large doors at the front of it. Doors that are open compared to all the ones you've seen before who have been closed.
Is this the door over here?
Yes.
Might be go time.
Say again.
It might be go time. We might have a fight already in our hands.
Try to be careful.
Do I hear anything around there or see anyone that seems to be like looking in this direction or posted up near this or anything like that?
Everybody give me perception checks.
Solid. Great.
Solid.
Great.
Uno más.
Mine didn't roll.
We're just going opposite sides
There
of the
we go.
spectrum here? Perfect.
Hey.
Alright, so everybody, minus Sans, Jot, and Kai, you notice there aren't a lot of people here. This is kind of a bit of a valley, kind of over towards the back of the City of the Dead. You see a couple people walking here and there, but it's not a popular place compared to like closer to the entrances and such, where you saw picnics being laid out and such under tree cover. Here it definitely fits a bit more of the somber atmosphere of a graveyard. There's not a lot of people around. Jot and Kai, as you're paying a bit closer attention, you do notice that there's not a lot of people around, so your activities will probably not be noticed by many. As you're listening, kind of seeing these doors open, this is a bit odd compared to others. usually aren't open mausoleum doors unless there's a service being performed. All the mausoleums and above-ground burial sites that you've passed have all been closed up. This one, however, its large stone doors are open. You don't hear anything coming from inside it. From your perspective, you're kind of standing off to the west of it, not quite close, but don't hear anything.
Okay.
Um,
I was just gonna say I'd like to move over by the door, and then from the door see if my life sense picks up anything on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you move over, you're able to see inside what you can now see is the ground level of this mausoleum. As you peek around, your life sense does not go off. You feel no presence of life except for those around you that you know to be in your group here. As you peek around, you're able to see a bit inside. You see several large coffins made of stone set inside this place. Very ornately set off to the sides, and a couple more set up on large pedestals to the northwest and northeast. In the middle of all of them, however, you see a set of stairs leading down.
Okay. Start walking into the mausoleum here.
The rest is gonna follow.
Yeah, I mean, I'll follow as well.
All of you see the same thing moving into the mausoleum. You see no life, just a crypt for the most part of this mausoleum. Coffins
close the
made of
door
stone and such.
behind us?
Yeah, once we get in, pull the doors closed.
Even
Yeah,
if we
you'll
can't,
be able to do so.
even if we can't lock them, at least.
At least pull them too. Or
Yeah,
There's,
or whatever.
Are they loud when we close them?
They're made of stone. They're somewhat heavy. Who's gonna close them? They are open inward into the mausoleum.
Talia.
I will, since I'm the last one.
Talia, Viz, and Jot make perception checks. Talia, also give me an athletics check.
Wow. That athletics check, though.
Who else make a perception?
Talia.
Got Talia and Viz. Alright.
So Talia
there's
also
this.
rolled
Okay.
perception, is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah, she did.
She did.
Alright,
Oh,
so
I'm
as
blind.
you all
Never
make
mind.
your way inside, you kind of motion back for the doors to be closed, and Talia reaches up and, with both her hands, one on each door, begins to press forward, and as she does so, you hear this grating sound, just... Not making a ton of noise, but it's loud inside there. Jot, unable to really pay attention to this, you're turning around and looking back into the chamber, which is now going quite dark at this
What I was
point.
gonna say.
Yeah, okay. Viz and Talia, you notice, looking around as the doors are closing, there is a layer of dust all around you, except for where the doors have been opened. It definitely seems like the doors were opened very recently.
And the stairs up or down?
Down.
Okay.
Going into the ground.
I'd like to start heading that way, but quietly.
Are there any footprints on the ground?
Make a survival check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me a sec. As you're looking, Jot, immediately down towards the stairs, and amongst your feet, you're able to see a lot of footprints next to the doorway, but as you look a bit closer to the stairs, you're able to see at least 3 different sets of footprints going back and forth. You see that... Let me make sure I'm not telling you wrong. Give me 1 second.
That's fine.
I've got to look at so many notes to
No, you're
get
fine.
this
You're
right.
fine. Take your time. Me personally, I prefer accurate information that takes slightly longer to
Right,
receive
yeah.
versus inaccurate that you receive immediately.
I prefer for you to say things wrong and inconsistently so I can call you on it later. But that's just a Steve thing.
All right, so you see 3 sets, right? 2 sets seem to be somewhat not quite identical, but they're very similar. They seem to be normal-sized humanoid footprints with shoes, obviously. You do see one set of footprints that is very much smaller than the other 2. It could be that of a child, but you assume or maybe surmise in such a place that if a child was brought, it'd be very odd, but it could also fit maybe a halfling or a gnome or some other small species of a creature. Just 2 larger sets, 1 very much smaller set. These footprints, once again in the heavy dust of this mausoleum.
I'll be like, guys, look, there's some footprints here. There's someone that's been through here recently. At least 3.
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna ready my great axe just in case.
Guys, we don't have to kill them. Remember, life is valuable.
Sure, but I think we should probably be sneaky.
Everybody gonna move stealthily?
Are you inherently unsneaky, Jot?
I'm just kind of meh on it. I'm okay, but not like, I don't have a lot of practice with it, really.
I already rolled my stealth check.
Oh, yeah, you did. Oh, no. Oh, no. We did great.
Nice.
I was gonna see if I could do the I take disadvantage to give someone else advantage thing.
Oh, I see.
Sure, if you want to.
Talia, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll one more time, Viz.
Hey, nice.
All right. Being stealthy, I'm assuming, as you walk down the stairs.
Yeah, I'm being a little less stealthy because I want to be helping Talia. Like, okay, maybe if you step here and you really lightly step here and you don't punch that. Yeah, no, don't punch them.
Don't punch that.
All right, so as you all make your way down these stairs, kind of being tipped off that there may be visitors here, according to Jot. You start heading down, Viz kind of watching as Talia and kind of pointing where she should put her footsteps. You see Talia glaring at Viz, but listening, as it is beneficial for her. She maintains most of her stealth, making a little bit more noise, and you assume that most of that noise is probably a low growl in her throat at Viz. But with that, you make your way down the stairs.
It's phlegm.
As you make your way down, you see empty sconces adorn the walls here. You're able to see cobwebs and dust. Seem to indicate that no one has tended this place in a long time. Once again, stone coffins and alcoves are set here on this lower level as you flatten out at the bottom of the stairs here.
This is good. That means no one's died recently. Her family must be really healthy and they just live really long lives, and that's good. Let's keep.
Sure.
Risk is gonna start moving ahead, still being stealthy.
Okay.
I mean, okay, never mind.
Oh.
I'm going to cast silence to cover that area.
That whole corner there? Okay.
Everything pretty much in this mausoleum. It's a 20-foot radius, so everything is covered.
Alright. So as you...
So as we start, everybody's trying to be sneaky, and Kai's just gonna walk into the bubble just kind of like normal and grab onto his staff as if, not a big deal.
Yeah, you see Kai moving forward. He chants and moves his hands and kind of waves in front of him, and as he does so, he looks at the rest of you and steps forward, and as he does so, he moves into this zone of silence, and he turns around to the rest of you and kind of... But it makes no sound as he slams his staff into the ground, and you're all able to recognize that a zone of silence has been cast here.
And life sense isn't picking up anything as we're walking through.
Am I still able to spot the footprints at all?
Making her a survival check. You see Viz trying to talk to you all, but you see his mouth moving. Can't hear anything. As you're looking, you see kind of scuffed over by a few of your friends' footprints as they have moved ahead of you. But you do see somewhat familiar tracks within the mix here of 2 humanoids and 1 smaller creature. As you come around the corner, you look off to the east and you see that the crypt does continue on. Some of the alcoves ahead of you are now not filled. There is no stone coffin within them. You assume probably made for future generations to be buried here. As you look ahead, though, Kai, Jot, and Viz make Arcana checks. Jot, go ahead and make it with advantage.
Okay.
Someone said we would be rolling average for the rest of the night.
It's a little higher than average. Okay. Jot, very focused on these footprints, doesn't quite notice it, but Viz and Kai, almost towards the end of this alcove ahead of you, you see an odd discoloration on the ground. And as you're looking at it and kind of moving forward, you see the dust has been moved away and there's some scrape marks where it seems that some boot scrapes may have happened here. And you see this discoloration. It seems kind of blue and purple-esque. And as you're looking at it, it seems to be this liquid substance is plastered across the ground. Eventually, just because Jot would really know this, she eventually comes up to investigate with you. You notice that there's this kind of ectoplasm residue left over from something that has been summoned or brought forward from a different realm and given a body of a material substance that's made out of this. Jot, you're able to easily recognize this is what most familiars are made of.
So, like, it looks like maybe a familiar was killed right here.
That is kind of what your mind is leading to.
Okay.
As you're looking next to it, you see dust still covering, but you see these more kind of clearing marks, not as wide as like what a boot mark would be, where it kind of slid across and stretched out like 6 inches across out in a foot or so. You see these tiny lines leading off towards the north, towards one of the alcoves, kind of hidden very much in shadow. And as you walk over towards it and look down at the end of these marks, you see what appears to be a small key is laying on the ground.
So we can go to
Where's this
here
at?
in silence right now.
Yeah,
And
you
where
can
are
move
we
through
seeing
all of this.
Where are we seeing the?
The ectoplasm is here. Y'all can move around this entire area. There's nobody here. You'll
Okay.
find that it is empty.
Okay, cool.
As you move forward, you see the ectoplasm stain is here, and the key is laying up here.
Looking around, do I see anything that looks like a stone?
Make an investigation check. Jot begins to move around kind of very feverishly, looking around for a stone of any kind. As you study kind of the ground, seeing these footprints, you see they don't extend any further, where it kind of leads off into this bit of a unworked area where another coffin lies. As you search around, you see the footprints seem to have stopped there. You do see that some of the footprints do lead out towards some of these coffins, that the lids of them seem to be kind of pushed open ever so slightly, where hands could easily be pushed into within them. As you're looking down, you don't see a stone of any kind, really. Just dust, footprints, tomb, coffins.
Did I see earlier any footprints coming back out?
You had seen those sets like going in and out as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It was hard to see once again because
No, that's fair. No.
you were
That's
looking
fair.
at them after your party moved
Yeah,
through.
no,
So
but like, I just wanted to confirm that they hadn't just vanished in here somewhere. So,
yeah, you're able to easily see some leading back out of this place.
Should we look in the coffins?
curious about this. This looks to be almost handmade, like dug out. As we're kind of walking through, is that kind of the impression I'm getting? The others are like fine work stone going around here, and then it looks like this is like a cavern that's been dug out.
You see that this seems to be more recently, and when I say recently, like within the last couple of years. It's not been quite hand-worked as it is in the other places. However, as you're looking at this last place, you do see what appears to be a large stone door before you. At the end of it, it seems to lead to something else. However, it does seem to be, once again, carved out more recently. It hasn't been...
Yeah. It's not
finished.
It doesn't have that finished look to it. It just looks like they've just started working on it.
Yeah, it seems to be an expansion, but one that hasn't been fully finished yet.
Gotcha. Okay. Seeing the door kind of point to the others, and just what do you think? Should we attempt to take a look inside, see what's there?
Yeah, because either the stone's here or it's not. So we kind of need to clear out the place to be sure and go from there.
And since I know the silence spell is still going, I'm gonna drop it because I don't want somebody sneaking up behind us.
Okay.
So actually, real quick, because I actually hadn't noticed that there's a door on the map. My angle cuts it off completely. So the footprints, did they go up? They didn't leave through the door. They came back up the way we came.
You see footprints, they came downstairs, they moved up to the north, turned to the east, and they continue on past where you're standing currently.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I saw like
there
they doubled
was...
That's
back.
what I was
they
meaning.
They do seem to be more of them heading back out.
Okay.
But as you're looking, you do see that they do continue on off to the east where Viz and Risk are currently standing.
So they at least went up to the door, and then at some point, footprints came back up out.
Yeah, you kind of stopped in this area because you noticed that like there were heavy like slide marks, I guess. Mm-hmm. So like there's a wide swath instead of just a footprint. There's a wide swath of missing dust here, where like a foot slid across here. However, the footprints do continue afterwards, heading off to the northeast.
Okay. Cool.
I'm going to open the door.
Do you hear anything on the other side of the door? Just like pressing against it.
Make a perception check as the door opens.
Life sense on the other side of the door.
You hear, you feel, you see nothing aside as the door opened by Risk reveals another coffin. This coffin is different. You've seen a few of them partially kind of pushed aside and slightly open. This one has its lid pushed off and kind of sitting, leaning against the side of it.
It's no way to treat the dead.
Can I take a look inside?
There's nothing.
Nothing.
You see dust inside, and as you're looking at the dust, you're able to peer over the side. I think one of y'all cast a light spell or lit a torch, right?
Dancing lights.
Right. The dancing lights kind of illuminating. You see dust laying over what appears to be this kind of skeletal outline, where up until recently there must have been a skeleton or a body or something laying here, but there is nothing inside this coffin right now.
Can I try and run my hand across the base of it, the inside of it?
Yeah, as you do so, you run across the base of it, moving on the inside of it, pull out, it's just covered in dust. Hasn't been disturbed in a long time.
And nothing else I see, just an empty room and an empty coffin?
Empty room, empty coffin.
Do you want me to take a moment?
Does it look like there was something in there at one point?
Yeah, you could see the outline of the skeleton in the dust.
It looks
Yeah,
like
there's
we're
like
too late.
haphazard scrape marks and such, but all of y'all
Yeah,
are
I can't see, so
reasonably intelligent.
I'm asking the friends.
I understand. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
those of y'all inside,
was
like I said,
there
Risk
something
especially, you reasonably assume a skeleton was taken out of this coffin recently.
Seeing that now and looking back at the other ones, none of the other ones seem to be disturbed like that, right? Is
not
there any sort of
fully
of
open.
name or anything like that on the coffin or in the room or on the door or anything like that?
No. None of these coffins have been named up to this point. You've seen quite a few of them have been pushed, and like the lid of them has been like pushed over slightly enough where like hands could reach inside of them. You just haven't investigated any further. But none of them have been pushed over in such a way that you could actually look inside of them easily.
And none of the coffins in here are labeled in any way, like even the previous ones. Nothing.
Nope. No names.
Well, whatever it was they came here for, this must have been it.
Should I take a little bit and see if I can detect any magic? I don't know if that would help at all.
Can try.
Okay. Someone else might need to cast to light a torch though, because dancing lights is concentration. I'll sit down and start ritual casting. Or well, no, I won't sit because it's all dusty here. I'll just like
I have
pull out my
torches.
book. I'll pull out my book and start ritual casting detect magic.
Okay. Anybody doing anything during the like 11 minutes or so she needs?
I'm just going to because
Because
this place has been popular-ish. I'm just going to go over by the corner here and keep watch and let Life Sense pick things up if necessary.
All right. Kai, go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
There we go. Yes.
So as Jot begins to concentrate on the spell, Kai, you kind of move up to the corner here as you're standing there waiting. It's going to take a few minutes here. You find yourself, your gaze wandering, looking around you, and you see these two coffins made of stone up to your west and northwest. As you're looking at them, you can see that both of their lids have been pushed just slightly ajar. And as you're looking a bit closer, you can see that these footsteps that Jot has pointed out to you do lead up to both of these coffins. As you glance around the corner, you can see these footsteps in the distance lead up to every coffin. And every coffin has been, the lid of it has been pushed ajar. About 11 minutes pass. You said you were doing detect magic, right? You are able to channel the arcane energy into your eyes as you try to decipher the weave that's been untangled or woven in such a way that you'd be able to see magic and see nothing.
Okay. I'll wander
Nothing
around.
seems to disturb this area, yeah. As you move around the entirety of this bottom level of the crypt, you see no magic.
How heavy are these stone tops to these coffins?
I mean, 60 to 100 pounds, something like that. Not terribly heavy. They're not super big, ornate ones.
Just as Kai's kind of keeping watch, he's gonna kind of walk by and just straighten the lids back up.
I think we should. Are all the skeleton things gone? And from all the coffins?
So before I push it back, if I look inside, do I see the remains inside?
Nope. Check the north one. No skeleton. Empty.
There's a necromancer afoot. Maybe.
Kai senses competition.
I go to
Sorry,
change my
quick
notes real quick.
There's another necromancer afoot. Nothing magical.
And
Were
nothing,
We were too late.
and nothing in the sarcophagus either. So whatever they were after, they've already gotten.
I do wonder why the separate, like who that was up in the northeast area.
Well,
There's more
judging
research.
judging by what I'm seeing here, I imagine that's probably a recent death.
We need to find out if she has any family still alive in town. Because there's another key.
Does it look similar to the key we have?
Oh yeah, there's a key on the ground. I completely forgot about that. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we picked it up.
Okay.
Does it look
Uh-huh.
like the other key we have?
What other key do
The
you
key
have?
to this crypt.
To this crypt.
The key Grinda
Oh.
gave us.
Is it a copy of the one we already
Uh,
have?
Does the key on the ground look
no.
like the... Oh.
No.
No.
And we
Oh.
don't see anything else in this area that looks like a lock of any sort.
No.
How'd they get in? Oh, I mean... I guess I just kind of assumed it was a copy of this
Yeah.
key.
Yeah, looks nothing like the key that you got from Grinda.
With my experience with like picking locks and would I know if this is more of like a skeleton key?
Um,
Bring it on! I live for this!
Gerald,
Make-
thank you for the host. Welcome, viewers.
an intelligence check with advantage.
All right.
You looking over this key, comparing it to ones you've seen before, this key is complicated. As you're looking at it, you glance at the the weaves and such of the metal at the end of it. And as you're glancing at it, it seems kind of mundane, and then you take a closer look of it, kind of moving over to the torchlight that Viz has, and you see that there are almost imperceptible little edges where it seems that it goes through several different tumblers along the way. Even though it seems to be almost straight, minus a few edges that are obvious here and there, this seems to be a very well-crafted key into it. Nothing compared to the one that Grinda gave you, which was a very three-pronged at various angles, easily able to go into one simple lock, open it. At the same time, that lock could have been unlocked or anything like that, you don't know. But this key it's masterful, based off what you're able to read off of it.
This key, the one we found, guys, this might be a master key for the entire graveyard. This might be like a skeleton key. We might want to go talk. Oh, am I not getting that?
Want to make sure it doesn't seem to be a master key. It is a very very specific key. It is one that opens up one lock, from what you're able to tell.
It's like a masterly crafted key, right?
Yes, yeah. Like a very skilled artisan made this key and made the lock that it goes to.
Okay. Does it? All right, I'll relay that. Can I start looking around to see if I see a keyhole anywhere in this
I looked around
area?
already. Yeah.
Oh, for the keyhole.
As you look around, y'all see no keyhole anywhere here.
Was
Biggest
this
thing you're all noticing is just the coffins and things of that nature.
was this key covered in dust, or was it? It was not.
Nope. Seemed to have made a trail through the dust as it slid over towards one of these alcoves
that
in the
was
darkness.
That was what made this track mark. Okay.
I guess let's see if we can follow these track marks outside.
But we don't see any footsteps doubling back.
No, we did. We did.
we did.
Oh, I'm so fucking
Yeah.
confused.
I know.
Okay.
I got confused. Yeah, they did double back. They did.
Because
If
at first I thought they didn't come up this way because I thought that they doubled back, but then I said no, they went up this way. All right, cool. And okay, so they did
So they
double.
basically the footsteps went up to every coffin and to the door, and then walked back out.
Back. Right, I get it now.
That's-
I
yeah.
just Okay.
Well, yeah, I suppose we could see if we can make out anything when we get outside. It's two big people and one little person. Or
Like how little? Littler than you? As little as you? Like how big is your foot compared to this one?
about the same size, I think, because you said it could be like halfling-ish.
Yeah, It's comparable to yours, maybe slightly larger.
Okay. Mine are a little bit bigger. I don't know. How did dwarf feet compare to like human-sized feet versus my feet?
It's like gnome and halfling are pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Dwarf are a little bit bigger, and then it moves up into the larger, medium-sized creatures.
So maybe a dwarf, possibly. Okay.
And it's a little bit larger than yours.
Just a tiny bit. Okay. Yeah, head back out, I guess. And then I guess maybe we'll all try and look around and see if we can see about the footprints heading away from here at all.
Okay.
Tim?
Everybody heading back upstairs?
Yeah.
I just want to be in front of Talia.
Yeah, I'd like to actually be...
Did we let's see, did you say that basically Kai would have also looked at these coffins too, or no?
Yeah, as you go through, and once again, as you're heading out of this area, you check the last 3 of these coffins, and you see that all of them have been moved over and cracked open enough where hands could reach down. And as you look inside of them, you see a similar sight to the one that didn't have its lid on it at all, which is empty coffin, no skeleton or body remaining, and dust that has been disturbed within it. Sometime recently, you assume.
I would like to be in front of Jot.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead and just get your marching order set real quick for me.
I don't like the idea of the little one being in the front to potentially soak up damage from
Me neither.
everything.
Okay. Ooh, that's not where I wanted you.
Although
Or
TBH,
anything.
I have the potential to probably have the highest AC of the group between mage armor and shield.
As you walk back up the stairs, moving around, still kind of questioning amongst yourselves what had happened here. The only thing you were able to find was empty coffins down on the lower level and a key that seemed to be on the floor. Does anybody speak Dwarvish?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I do speak Dwarvish. I do speak Dwarvish.
Anybody else?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, unless it's deep speech,
As you're moving up the stairs, you see the doors still standing open, still some bits of sunlight coming through it. And as your footsteps...
Wait, we specifically
Oh,
closed
the
it.
doors are
Closed
closed.
the
Yeah,
doors.
the doors are closed, yes. I need to actually move that then. Okay.
If they're open, then just kidding, I want to be behind Talia now.
As you move up, you see the doors are open. And as you're looking up towards them, thinking to yourself, we closed those. You see 2 figures standing beyond the doors. Both these figures resemble dwarves, but as you're looking at them more closely, you see that their skin is dark, almost purplesque black in their appearance. And as you look at them, you see them staring out, seeing you come up the stairs, and you hear this voice of one of them calling out to you in Dwarvish that says, "Bring out the stone, give it to me, and no one gets hurt."
I think we have the stone. Whispered. Whispered.
How aggressive do they seem?
Very.
I'm gonna take a shot with my hand crossbow.
I cast minor illusion on a stone and make it look like what Glinda described.
Okay, so Viz is standing there, crafting very quickly the stone in his hand, and Risk raises his hand up and fires off.
Yeah, I'd already said it. I'm sorry.
Okay, so which one are you targeting?
The one on the right.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
Yep. Fuck.
You're fine. You're fine. It's all right.
24 is going to hit for 5. Okay, so as you were all freaking out, hearing this, all of you except for Jot, not understanding the language at all that is being spoken.
Then I wouldn't
by...
do that.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I told you they think we. I said they think we have the stone.
Yeah, you just hear Jot
They
saying,
seem
"I
very
think we have the
aggressive.
stone."
That's what I said. That's what I
Yeah,
told
you got that much, and Risk hearing that just immediately raises up his hand crossbow and fires off a shot. You see this crossbow bolt flying through, hitting this guy in the chest. Just, he looks up. and he just growls. And as he does so, I need everybody to roll for initiative.
I'm taking this little bit of fleece and I'm covering it with a rock and I'm muttering a few words. And when I lift up the fleece, it looks like what Glinda described to us with the 3 eyes, and it's kind of got that glowy bit.
3 eyes and the glowy bit.
Oh.
And you
these
see a
additions.
glowy bit of
Oh no.
angry
Yeah.
dwarf.
Risk is like frustrated. We've gone on this wild fucking goose chase. Then these guys, assholes, show up. Give us a stone. Fuck you.
All
I
right,
have to
so
stand
as
up. Been sitting for too long.
as combat starts, I'm going to step away for like 2 seconds real quick to go to the bathroom, and then we will go ahead and get this started. So
All
I
right,
will
let's
be right
take
back.
a 2-minute break then.
Yeah, quick.
Yeah, like 2-minute break real quick.
Yeah.
It's like,
All right, don't go anywhere. We're gonna take a 2-minute break and get back to this. Right, we are ready to go.
Tanzanite. Labradite. Sorry.
Pretty cool.
That's what happens when you petrify a dog.
all right, so
Get
as
it?
Steve shows
it looks
off
like
his stone.
holographicness. Yeah, I bought it at the gym fair.
I tried to describe that to my mother today. I was like, yeah, so my buddy Steve went to like this rock thing with stones that were pretty.
They have them
I don't know
every
what he
month
called it.
here. It's our excitement. We don't have the lottery. We don't have cool
I-
things. We have gem fairs. We go and buy pretty
I
rock.
couldn't describe a gym fair. I was just like, yeah, no, it makes sense if you knew about it. And she's like, oh, okay.
Sure,
okay.
son.
All right, so as this crossbow bolt flies through the air, hitting this dwarf that was talking to you all, you see that he took some damage and growled under his breath, and you see him pulling out this large pick, war pick looking weapon as he begins to move forward. Talia, you're the first to react.
Are they in range? I would like to step forward. I can't understand them, right? They didn't speak common.
Yep, so dwarvish.
I mean, you could try common. They might speak common. They might not.
Do they speak infernal?
I'm-
Because I can speak infernal.
I'm gonna step forward and
Are
then
they
just hold my
fiends?
great axe
No.
out
Okay.
for them to come in and try and attack us.
All right. So holding an attack action if one gets close to you menacingly. Makes sense. Okay. Talia, go ahead and make a perception check as you get closer. Kai, your turn.
Oh, shit.
Kai.
Okay. Pay attention to your whispers, Talia.
Ooh, nice perception check. Kai is going to point, kind of doing like the pinky and the pointer finger in the direction of the two, and cast Toll the Dead on both of them.
On which one?
Both of them.
Both of them. Ooh, using
That's
Reaper.
part of my
All right.
Reaper, yeah.
All
Because
right,
they're
so
5
wisdom
feet
saves.
within. They're within 5 feet of each other, so I can hit both of them. So,
Okay.
wisdom save.
17 and a 9.
Okay. The 17 takes no damage. Which one took?
Left, right. Left was first, right was second. Sorry.
Okay, so the 9 is the one that took damage.
Yes.
Okay. He takes 6 necrotic then.
Okay.
And then Kai is going to begin moving forward. Just gonna get up in his face.
Get all up in there.
Get all
Okay.
up in his face. And that'll be my
All
turn.
right. All right, Kai. You hear what's starting to sound like a chorus of bells, just dong 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 dong, going off in the distance as both these dwarves kind of frown against it. But one seems to fight it off, the other one cringing a bit more so, but they both still seem very much alive. Risk fired up a
Risk.
crossbow at one.
Is going to run up, and I have just enough movement, and slap with my short sword.
Oh.
Yep, I know.
Alright. Short sword melee attack. D1. Alright, dex check, please. No, you're real bad at those.
Which is a general dex check.
Yep. Okay. All right. As you're slapping forward with your short sword, you swing downwards and you see this dwarf standing aside, and as he does so, he swings his pick and just bats your short sword away. You feel your grip on it loosening ever so slightly, but you grab hold of it before it's tossed down to the dwarf's feet. You maintain control of your weapon.
All right, and then hand crossbow shot at the same one.
Okay. 14 will also miss.
All right, that's the end of my turn.
All right, as you fire off your hand crossbow after being batted aside by this war pick, you raise up your hand, firing off another shot, and you see him quickly raising up his shield and blocking the shot, batting it away, not taking any damage. Jot?
This one's been hit. This one hasn't?
Yes, correct.
The uninjured one, I will apply a little feather and wave it around for the material components and say, what do you call someone bewitched by a dryad? It's a victim of fatal attraction. I'm guessing Tasha's hideous laughter. Yep.
Okay. Which one are you targeting?
The not as hurt one, or the uninjured.
That one?
Whichever way.
Okay, that's a wisdom save.
Mm-hmm. DC is 14.
A 10.
Hey, so he just he just starts laughing and falls down.
All right. He is bursting out with laughter now.
And I'll just move like. Are these raised up a little bit or anything? The coffins.
3 feet max.
Oh well, I mean that's about how tall I am. I just want to like duck behind it, like take a
Okay.
bit of cover.
Yeah, you can get maybe a little bit of cover.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so Jot casting the spell as she waves a feather through the air, saying this very unfunny joke. None of you really get it, but then you see this dwarf looking towards her and just just doubles over laughing for some reason.
I intentionally have a list of like the worst ones I can find.
Of course you do.
Okay. Risk and Kai.
Yep.
You notice the dwarf in front of you looking at you, and as he scowls in your direction, you see he buffs out his shoulders, puffs out his chest, and then he keeps puffing out and puffing out and puffing out. He begins to grow and enlarge before you. And then you see off to your left and right the shimmering, the light playing tricks as you look over and you see 2 other of these dwarves materializing and growing.
Oh shit, that's so big.
I reach into my pouch, pull out a pin, and poke him in the chest.
You poke him and he just looks down. Okay. That's their turns. They enlarge. This one. Another wisdom saving throw, right? Each of the turns, and each time it takes make another wisdom saving throw. Okay. An 18 this time.
Oh, darn.
So he will. He just looks pissed off now, but not as large as his counterparts. All right, Viz.
I'm just gonna toss my rock over my shoulder.
Aw.
Shimmers out of existence behind you.
Okay, so they're all within 30 feet of each other. So Viz is gonna take a dagger He's going to cut his hand open, and with some blood, he's going to cast Bane at 2nd level, targeting all 4 people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Channeling his inner Kai right now.
So edgy.
So all 4 of them have to make charisma saving throws. Okay. Here, just for funsies. Let me just unhide these rolls because they're going to be comical. All right, starting from left to right.
Target.
About what I expected. 14 was pretty high. 14 make it?
If it meets, it beats. Yeah, 14.
All right, so hey, 1 makes it. Oop, that's not what I wanted.
So the other 3 have Bane on them. And then I have 5 feet of movement left. I'm just going to back up over here. Actually, no, I'm going to stay where I am, so I have line of sight.
Okay. We'll just mark Bane this way. The first one was the one that made it, so the one to the far left. Yeah, okay.
Oh, shit.
Bane is what? Disadvantage on attack rolls, right?
1d4 on ability checks and saving throws.
Attack rolls. So yeah.
Attack rolls. And
Attack rolls, sorry.
And same. So it's anti-guidance.
Yeah, opposite of guidance. Okay, all right. So Viz stepping forward, and as he does so, begins to chant, slashing his hand across as a drop of blood begins to fall from his hand. You see it disappears into the ethereal world as it is cast upon these dwarves before you. And 3 of them kind of flinch against it, obviously taking effect of it. The other one kind of looking at the other one to try to figure out what's going on. Talia, it's your turn.
Can I fit like slip out in between Risk and the wall?
Absolutely.
Smack him.
Swing with my great axe right there, and then
Big boy or little boy?
little boy,
Little boy, okay.
and then I will use my last rage.
And also, you have advantage because it's prone.
He
It's
made
prone?
a saving.
He made it, but it's
Was
at the
he
end
able-
of his turn. He
He
makes
hasn't gotten
Oh
up.
yeah, he doesn't get movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's
it.
at the
He
end.
makes it. He makes it throw at the end of his turn.
Oh, Tishy is,
Absolutely right.
yeah. Tasha's
Absolutely right.
city's
Thank
laughter
you
makes
for
him
catching
fall
that.
prone.
Oh well, sorry. That's what I was. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I was like, why is he prone? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
He
Yeah.
fell down laughing, but then
Um,
yeah, because he makes the save at the end of his turn, he wouldn't.
He
still have
doesn't
any
get the
movement.
chance
Yep. He doesn't get up.
Dope.
Yep. All right, so 17 will hit since he is prone.
Nice.
Excuse me.
+2.
+2. That's what I was marking. +2, and I typed in +2.
Gave him back 2
rage.
health.
Yeah, just he gets 2 health. It's fine. All right, there's your rage. All right, and he is now affected by your ancestral guardians as well. We'll go ahead and give him this one. This is what I used last time.
Debuff.
I don't remember.
Debuff. Debuff.
Debuff.
Super
Debuff.
debuff.
Debuff. This guy's fucked. All right. Anything else, Talia?
No.
All right. Big swing from the great axe as you bring it down on this dwarf on the ground. He groans in pain. Just looking up, trying to stand back up. Kai.
I am. Yep, I'm gonna do it. Maybe, if my sheet ever opens up.
One day.
Someday here. First round. Let's do this. Come on. The one directly in front of me, I cast my spiritual weapon, which forms to look like the Bloodfang dagger.
Ooh.
Okay.
What does that look like?
I'll drop you that.
This is the first time you cast spiritual weapon, I think.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
This one's dope. So we're gonna use that as your token. Oh God, no, we're not. Are these all gonna look terrible? Yeah, they are.
Oh, it does look shitty. That's unfortunate. Teeny little dagger now.
Oh,
There we go. That looks
There we
good.
go.
That was good. That was good.
I will resize it. All right, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
give you
so
control of that.
Okay, and a 23
Oop.
to hit.
23 will hit whoever you're targeting with that.
The big guy directly to myself.
Okay. Yeah, 23 would absolutely hit.
And
12.
12.
Nice, dude.
And once again, reaching forward, pointing at the two in front of me. Both of them give me wisdom saves.
Natural 1 and 18. Natural 1 being this guy here, 18 will win, so this guy on the left is going to take 12 necrotic damage.
Nice.
Yep.
Ooh. Alright.
And that will be my turn.
Alrighty, so as you're bringing out the spectral blade, it begins to materialize, and as it does so, it flips through the air, and as it stabs towards this dwarf, you all see, those of you who have line of sight on it, so everybody except Jot, able to see this curved dagger moving through the air, slicing through this dwarf as it cuts into him. Then you see the dwarf next to him beginning to bow over as this bell tolls in the distance, just covering his head, holding it as his eyes begin to bleed. He looks up, his eyes weary and kind of crossed a bit. He looks very beat up. Risk.
Risk is going to reverse his grip on his sword and stab down into the one in front of him.
Oh,
Okay.
Forge, that looks cool. Oh!
Yeah, go ahead and tell me how you take him out.
Just literally flips the blade around and just stabs right into the throat. Kind of just like, yeah, pinning it to the ground and using it for support as he kind of reaches over and shoots to the one over here.
Okay.
That doesn't have advantage. I didn't take off the advantage from the first one.
Okay. A 9 then will unfortunately miss. Blocked by the shield.
Yep. All right, and that is the end of my turn.
All right, so as the first dwarf falls, just choking on his own blood as the sword is stabbed through his neck. Another crossbow goes through the air, this one looking over and then immediately raises up his shield, blocking the attack.
No point in a D100 because I got the kill. There's nothing that could...
Yeah, no, you can roll it, actually.
I just don't know.
Maybe you fling the
Yeah.
body into his computer
Maybe
and it
something
explodes
crazy
and
happens.
binds him.
Maybe it gives me advantage on my
89?
next attack.
Maybe you can attack again right now.
Yeah, right. Just get a new turn.
Let's see if there's anything fun you can do here.
I just figured I'd ask.
Yeah, there's...
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Everything's with your target, so like you would have rolled with that roll, you would have rolled an additional damage dice, so
Yeah.
you would have gotten another
He's extra
D6. Yeah, super dead. You cleave through him, stab him through the throat, and then rip out and just tear the short sword out.
Stop!
Actually, I am going to use my movement.
Okay.
To come around. Am I in this guy's melee range right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm confused about the token size, so I'm just going to come around directly behind him.
Okay. All right, so risk taking out this one target, slipping around this other somewhat wounded dwarf. Well, very much wounded dwarf, but still standing. Jot.
Were there any trees nearby or anything?
There were some outside.
Yeah, no, outside is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, basically, okay, hang on. Let me move up a little bit.
Is that what this is supposed to be?
Those are like more like grass kind of.
Like, there don't happen to be, like, a tree here and, like, a tree over here?
No. There's a tree like up here and
uh-huh.
back here
Okay,
and
doesn't
over
help me.
here.
Not helpful for me. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I was wanting to do.
Yeah, you're not in a forest. No.
Worth asking. You never know.
Yeah,
You
worth
never know.
asking. 100%. Yeah, just no.
Sorry, excuse me. I'll just go ahead and magic missile at this guy's also taking some damage, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, actually looks
second-
kind of beat up.
Beat up. Okay, I'll magic missile him. I think Well, we'll just see. Oh, okay. That actually was a lot.
16
lot.
points of damage. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot.
It was a lot.
All
Cool.
right. Still alive.
Still alive, okay.
Looks very beat up now, though.
Good, good. And let's see, back up again where I was and kind of again like duck. And I forgot Seamus last round, but this round, I'll have him like flitter up and give. I'll have him give Talia. Talia advantage.
Okay. All right. So as Jot steps around the corner, firing off these 4 bolts of force energy, they run into this dwarf. Just dum 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 dum. He staggers backwards, breathing heavily as he looks towards you, and he begins to jabber once again. Jot, you hear the words, say, "Give us the stone," as he raises his war pick. And you see all of them moving forward as they do so. This one...
Why do you want it?
I'll say Talia noticed it first, but everyone else, as you're looking, especially with them growing in size, you're able to see clear tattoos going down the side of their heads past their hairlines and going down that look like these stalks with eyes on the end of them.
Never mind, I figured it out.
This one is going to move forward like into the space of the spiritual weapon.
I was gonna ask if Kai had saw it or anyone up there because they were right there.
Once you get closer to them, I try to give it to Talia so she can maybe tell everybody, but the rest of y'all are able to notice it.
They ran away in front of me, and it's like, oh, they're gonna see it.
So we have 3 attacks coming out.
Ooh.
We have 1 at Talia, and 1 at Kai, and 1 at Risk. So we're gonna start with Talia first. A natural 20.
Oh no!
Ouch.
Does that, even with the Bane, does that auto hit?
Oh yeah. Well yeah.
The one on
It's the
far
guy to the
left
far
isn't-
left. It's far left,
He's not
so he
Bane.
doesn't have.
That's
Oh,
right.
okay.
We remember
Okay.
Bane.
He was one that saved.
14 on his melee attack. Alright, he gains advantage on all attacks against his target, which is Talia, until the end of his next turn. So Talia, you will take a total of 14 piercing damage as his pick buries itself into your side. It hurts a bit. You can feel the force of his enlarged form, his enlarged muscles digging down into you.
Is that
the
half
one
right or
in-
no?
No, that is not half, so
Okay.
it'll be 7. Yeah. This one in front of Kai is going to attack him.
Okay.
15 to hit.
Nope.
Is that with
Disadvantage.
or with the Bane?
Well, not.
No, not disadvantage.
If it already misses, then
It
Right.
missed, yeah.
Yeah, 15 is what he rolled. Does Bane give disadvantage on that?
No,
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 it's,
I thought you
it's
said
minus a
disadvantage.
It's
1d4.
minus a 1d4
okay.
on attack
I got you.
rolls and saving throws.
Okay. Alright, so... Oh shit, I did that backwards. Sorry, that one was at Risk, which I think still doesn't hit, so it doesn't matter. This
15?
third one... Yeah, 15.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay.
Okay. This last one will be attacking Kai. Does its war pick? 17 this time.
Roll the
Is that-
1d4.
1d4. Okay.
We get
Who
it.
casts Bane? Roll me a 1d4, please.
I mean, either way, it's going to miss,
Uh,
because I have a 17, so...
You have
as
17,
long as
okay,
it's
yeah, okay.
Yeah, as long as he adds that, that's
Alright.
what it takes.
Alright, so you see the first one able to stab into Talia with its pick as it rips it back out. You see the second one swinging at Risk, who leans back away from the attack, able to easily dodge it.
Backwards
You see the last
plus.
one swinging down towards Kai, seeming like it's going to hit. But as it's getting very close, it just edges off very so slightly, and Kai, you're able to sidestep around. It just grazes your robes, just bouncing off. You feel that it's magic, or some kind of magic has turned the attack just slightly away from you. Viz.
the one in the middle, I want to look at him and be like, all you need to do is you just need to let my words hurt your brain, and you just need to go unconscious. And I'm going to cast vicious mockery on him in the middle.
Okay.
Non-lethally, I just want to mess with his brain a bit.
Scramble him up a little bit.
10.
He has a minus a d4 on the saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
He rolled a 10. So,
Oh,
okay,
cool.
can't really make spells not deadly, unfortunately.
Okay, well then never mind. Because I had talked to you about it when we started the game with Vicious Mockery with Viz about how I wanted Vicious Mockery to non-lethally. So if we can't do that anymore, then I'm not going to do that. It was a long time ago we talked about it. So
Is it? Okay. 'Cause
If we
I don't
can't do it,
remember
then I'm not going to do it because I'm not killing. So in that case, I want to run up and I want to hit him with my quarterstaff. I just want to knock him in the legs and try and knock him out.
All right. Go ahead and roll with advantage.
Oh yeah.
Whoops. I guess I don't need to. Does 3 knock him out?
The 23 and a 3 will knock him out, yes.
Hey.
Cool. All right. I'll knock him out. Run up under Seamus. And then step back.
Bonk.
All right. I'll put the X on him just to customarily mark him as defeated, but he has the sleeping icon because he is unconscious.
Cool. Thank you.
Does he shrink back down? Or does he stay big?
Yeah, he shrinks back down. All right. So anything else, Viz?
I actually like
Nope.
in my head I'm envisioning the Super Mario like you
You
shrunk down.
All right, so as Viz moves forward, kind of starting to look at him and seeing how hurt he is, slides up, moving underneath Seamus. You see him kind of looking up at this owl and looking down and turning around to look at Risk. And as he turns back around from Risk, he does not see the quarterstaff swinging towards his head as Viz just swings it through the air, hitting him in the chin. You see him stumbling backwards and holding up this pick. Falls to the ground, and as he does so, you see his size shrinking inwards as he becomes his normal size.
That's awesome.
Excuse me. Talia.
You have advantage on your first hit. Or well, your only hit.
You're only
I'm gonna swing at him with my great axe again. And say, let's see if I can chop you back down to size.
Don't kill them.
23 will hit for 11 damage.
13.
2.
We need to add that
Sorry,
in your
13. I know, I should.
Range modifier.
I know there's like an alternate modifier or something. I don't know how they work though.
Oh, you're raging, so that's 13, right?
Yes, +2.
Okay.
They're Xanathar people.
Doesn't mean we should kill them. They're still people.
They're probably really bad people.
Yeah, but that guy probably has 3 daughters and 2 sons, and he's got a wife that cares a lot for him.
Well, then
They're
perhaps
better
he
off
should have
without
picked.
him.
Perhaps he should have picked a better line of work then.
I mean, yeah, but maybe he didn't have a choice.
They asked for
All right.
it.
So you hit him. This guy, relatively untouched, takes a good chunk of damage, but he's definitely still standing. Anything else, Talia?
No.
All right, so big hit from the Great Axe. Guy groans in pain, but still standing. Kai?
I'll move the sword or the dagger off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And it will bonus action attack. Man, roll 20 is so laggy for me. 12?
12 is gonna miss. Bounce off his shield.
Okay. And then kind of fling my shield back onto my back and... I'm sorry, it's so fucking laggy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Take your time.
It
Song
is
is cool.
no big deal.
It is a cool song.
24 on the quarter
24
set.
will hit. Absolutely.
8 bludgeoning damage to the one to the east.
All right. Yeah. Once again, this guy's doing the doo 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 doo.
Yeah. That's gonna be my turn.
All right, so your dagger hits this guy in the back, and as he's turning around looking at it, or tries to hit him in the back, he's turning around, batting it away as it's flying through the air. He doesn't see the quarterstaff as he turns back around, clocking him across the noggin. He looks down at you, shaking his head, still looking very much ready to fight. Still standing. Risk.
Which one of these two, from my perspective, looks more beat up?
Left.
Pointing on the webcams is very hard.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say, that way.
It's,
Which is my right, weirdly.
It's still right for me. Alright, so Riss is gonna move behind the one who he believes in Talia's ability to fucking murder the one over there.
Murder!
This is like, no!
And this one did
Stop it!
attack. This one is facing Kai, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay, so this is flanking.
absolutely.
Alright.
Turns around, sees you moving around you, and just shoves your short sword away with the shield.
Action surge.
Oh.
Okay?
Do the wing thing.
Do the wing thing.
That was
Just
cool.
stomps on your short sword this time,
Oh.
blocking the attack.
Shoot him. Shoot him. You
Yeah.
can do it. Hey, that one.
With advantage still.
With but advantages for melee attacks. I'm flanking.
You're within I'll say any attack like within 5 feet, you'll have
Okay.
advantage.
And since you don't have the disadvantage on it, hey.
Yeah.
His back is
19
towards
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm going to make that a disarming attack. So he has
Okay.
to make a DC 14 strength save.
Okay.
Minus 1d4 if it's bane.
Strength checks. Okay, he's got advantage on this. 16.
Minus a 1d4.
Minus a 1d4 from Viz.
3 or 4, 50% chance.
Do I roll it?
Yep, you roll it. Your spell, bud.
Oh.
15.
Nope, that succeeds.
Alright, he keeps his war pick in his hand then. He does have javelins on his back too, though, so
Yes.
just hadn't used them yet.
And so that was 11 damage.
11. Oh, 11. Okay. There's 6. Okay.
Yeah, that's from the superiority die.
Okay.
That is the end of my turn.
Alrighty, so yeah, stabbing out, just your short sword, unfortunately unable to penetrate his armor as well as his shield. You resort to the hand crossbow, still able to do so. His attention's still not fully centered on you. You're able to shoot up into the back of his neck. It sinks in, just doing some damage to him. You just couldn't really turn his attention enough to try to swipe his weapon out of his hand, unfortunately. Jot, moving forward.
Is this one the one that's
That's the knocked out
unconscious?
one.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. I'll just clarify. Okay. I'll I'll magic missile this one. Just a first one.
Alright.
Holy shit. That was
Almost max damage, so...
Holy shit.
Come on, roll 20. There you go. Alright, still standing, looking very beat up, though.
Cool. And I'll back up again, and I'll give Kai advantage this time. With Seamus will give Kai advantage.
Okay. Alrighty, so 3 more bolts of force energy flying out towards this dwarf, hitting him, just doom, doom, doom. He's sitting there holding his pickaxe up, sighing and breathing heavily, barely standing, but standing nonetheless, much like the other one, as these two are going to continue their assault. One definitely going after Talia. We'll go ahead and get hers out of the way. A 10 on its attack is going to miss. The other one is going to go after Kai again with its war pick. 13 to hit.
Not gonna hit.
All right, both of them swinging their war picks through the air, just crunching into the soft ground of the kind of greens around this mausoleum, just unable to hit either one of you with it. This last one knocked out by the quarterstaff of Viz, whose turn is up now.
Can I hold a bonus action?
No.
Okay. I will step up to here. Fuck. I can't hold any. Shit. I wanted to hold a healing word for in case they tried to kill one of the Duergar. Can I hold like a dash and a cure wounds or something? Because I can't hold a bonus action healing word. So can I hold some movement to get up there and cure wounds the thing? If not, it's okay. If I step a few feet forward, I get better sight of them. Do either of them look?
I'm not gonna set a precedent with this rule, but for what you're trying to do, I will allow you to hold healing word.
Oh, just look at them. Do either of them look almost dead?
Yes.
Both of them, or just one?
This one barely standing, super beat up.
Okay, I'm gonna run over and I'm gonna try and quarterstaff. I'm gonna get next to Risk using all my movement, and I'm going to quarterstaff. Will I be flanking?
Okay.
Just gonna try and knock him out.
Yeah, he still attacked Kai. Yep.
Cool.
You're non-lethal?
Yeah, of course. I want to knock out his legs, and I want him to hit his head on the ground.
Woof. As Viz struggles past everybody, sweeping the legs out of this large dwarf who falls down to the ground, and as he does so, he rams his head into the side of the mausoleum, just a loud crack happening, falling against the ground with a heavy thud, and you see his form shrinking.
Okay, and then because I did the action stuff, I don't think it's fair for me to hold the bonus action
No, yeah, you can't
healing
hold
word.
at that point.
So I'm just gonna. That's my turn. See, we don't have to kill them. Look, it's not a threat. Look at him shrink. Look how little he is.
Talia.
I'm just gonna stare at Viz and just hit him with my great axe again.
He brings his shield up and blocks your attack.
Try not to kill him, Viz.
Thanks, Talia. I'll come knock his ankles out here in a minute.
Yeah, he looks pretty hardy, not like the other two that both had 3 HP when you attacked them. All right, Talia swings just a loud clunk into the wooden shield that this dwarf is holding. Kai, only one of them standing.
Uh-huh. Sure is.
This one doing the same thing as before.
The one directly beside me.
All right, you're attacking the unconscious
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
Okay.
Hi! What?
20 hits.
And then as soon as that happens, Kai reaches down using Channel Divinity. What is his hit die?
Is mine.
D8.
Okay. And immediately turns, looks right at Viz and says, "He will take your life without question. We cannot allow them to do so to us." And then continues over towards the other one. Maybe if my game doesn't freeze up again. And then again with the quarterstaff two-handed, bringing it across, attempting to hit this one. 13.
Gonna be blocked.
Okay. And that'll be my turn. So yeah,
All right,
this
so as
this
you-
one's gone.
All right, so as you slash across it, you slit across its throat as you do so. You hear this gurgling breath escaping its throat as it seems to surpass the wound, or the wound surpass its ability to survive, dying. Swing at this other one as it puts down and bats your quarterstaff aside, kind of bouncing off its shield as it rips the great axe out of it. Risk.
All right, going to move up as far as I can. This is not flanking, correct?
No. Yeah, you'd
Okay.
have to be over here.
I don't have enough movement for that. So I'm going to miss 2 attacks. Yep, there's one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, come on. These rolls, man.
It's unfortunate. All right, an 80 with a ray. Okay. All right. So as the first attack with the short sword comes around, swinging down, you see the movement of him blocking Kai's quarterstaff, swings back around, and then happenstancely actually blocks the short sword as well. Clunk. He turns around to you and sees the crossbow bolt already aimed at his face. He raises up, once again blocking his face as the crossbow bolt thunks into his shield. He looks down at you, giving you a little bit of attention, but not his full attention. And you feel a bit, not quite frightened, but you feel that he may be a superior combatant compared to you. You are going to be surprised and move down to the bottom of the turn order.
Nice.
It's rough.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. You were not moved to the bottom turn order. You're just surprised until the end of your next turn. I read one too many. All right. Jot.
I'll just move up a bit and seeing the big boy there, conjure a bit of fire around my hand and cast a firebolt. 15?
Poof, into his shield again.
Shit.
God damn shield!
That damn shit.
And
I thought
Seamus
Russ
will
would
help
think for a second
Viz.
Alright, so Viz will have advantage on his next attack. The
I don't
firebolt
know.
hitting, scarring the front of the shield. It's got cuts and all these different abrasions through it, looking already super beat up, but the shield still stands. As he looks towards seeing his fallen allies, growls in a rage as he brings his war pick around at one of the 3 targets around him. Talia still. He has advantage, so it's still an 8, because he rolled 2 8s in a row. Misses, swinging past Talia, her hair fluttering back behind her from the force of it as it hits the mausoleum wall beside her. He rips it back out, growling, still in a rage, but unable to hit Talia. Viz, it's your turn.
Can I save this dwarf?
He's
He was unconscious.
choking
and
on his own
stabbed.
blood. Yeah. Looking pretty close to death.
Can I save him? You can say no. It's okay.
Let me see.
You're God.
You can save him.
I do so. I cast Cure Wounds, kneel over his body, and cast Cure Wounds on him. Level
Okay.
1. Kai, I saved your life earlier today. You can see I'm actively trying to save the lives of everyone around me, regardless of their evil intentions or not. Do not kill those who are unable to protect themselves. And that's the end of my turn.
All right. How about your wounds?
Yeah, if you still, I don't want to bring him to consciousness. I just want to stabilize him, right? Just like
He's probably conscious.
I don't
now.
think he. Yeah.
if he's back to consciousness,
Conscious.
that's fine.
Yeah, he's conscious.
Cool.
All right.
I'm done.
Is struggling to keep his morality intact, saving the life of this dwarf who opens his eyes. He breathes heavily. Oh, You see his eyes looking up as Viz is laying his hands over him, curing the wounds of him, sealing up some of these wounds and across his throat where he was sliced by Kai's spiritual weapon. Talia.
Her Discord's acting funky.
Oh no.
Discord, please.
Please,
Discord.
She's gonna swing at the big guy.
Yeah.
Okay. She did not have advantage. Bounces off the ever-present shield. Anything else, Talia?
Nope, she says she's done.
All right, swinging up, tried it, hitting into the shield. You see him just wailing the shield all around, somehow protecting his body with it. The dwarf that would not die, apparently. Kai.
Kai glances back, sees Viz with this other one. Again, taking the quarterstaff against the head of the one right beside him. Maybe. Wow.
Hey.
These rolls.
Must be nice.
Yeah, right?
This one, right?
The one right beside me, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 22 will hit.
Yep. Smacks him and almost like doing so and then spinning around and motioning for the dagger. Kai looks again at Viz and says, if you wish to actually protect those that are innocent, you will not let this one live. And then allows the dagger to do its thing once again.
It's gonna be a bunch of rezzing and killing this guy over and over again.
Oh.
And
It does exactly.
Exactly.
So he's unconscious now.
I don't.
D&D, everyone.
I don't know. It depends on if Kai's doing non-lethal or not. I imagine.
Oh no, he's
that's
totally
yeah.
he's done.
You see the dagger going down and its curved edges going in and just sawing into the body, ending this dwarf's life.
We're torturing the guy. It's like being waterboarded.
I'm alive. I'm dead.
Oh God.
I'm alive again. I'm dead.
Risk, you
Anything
got
else, Kai?
this.
No, that's it.
Risk?
All right.
Attacked Talia last time, so you have flanking. 23 will hit. 27 will hit.
Nice. And disarming on both of them. Well, yeah, so disarming on the first one.
Okay.
I'm trying to knock the shield out of his hands.
Okay.
Smart.
One second, I gotta think of how to describe this. Alright. So as he's standing there stabbing down and blocking Talia's attack, you slip behind him. As you do so, you raise your short sword. You see him turning at the last second to bring his shield back up against you. You see it marred and cut into different pieces. You stab forward, hitting his shield again. You hear this dull thunk. You press forward, and as you do so, you feel your short sword cutting through the shield. Into his arm, which is held up before it, goes through his arm into his neck. You find yourself pressing against to it. You hear him gurgle. You push it backwards. You feel his form shrinking before you as you drive the short sword into him and down into the ground.
All right. That'll do. And that is the end of my turn. I mean, so did the short sword attack kill him?
Short sword killed him. Yeah, short sword killed him.
Well, then can I just retcon and not have hand crossbowed at all? Because this guy's unconscious and this guy is like in this like struggle of life and death.
No, there's no struggle.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming this is about to heal him again.
I don't think Kai did non-lethal on the other guy.
Yeah, no, I was. But
So-
see, but the knife was non-lethal the first time when he was already knocked out.
I don't know.
If he's knocked
Like-
out and you hit him,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's non-lethally.
Yeah, I mean, do NPCs get
No,
death
that's
saving
no,
throws?
that's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
so Viz knocked out 2 of them. And then on the last, not this past round, but the round
Right.
before, the knife still attacked the one that was knocked out. So he should have been dead then, but we healed him back up.
Gotcha.
And then on the second round, the same thing happened. So yeah, at this point, it's kind of up to Havoc whether he's gonna, if he's gonna allow that to continue.
Yeah, no, the battle back and forth between healing and damage being going back and forth, he can't survive this.
So this is the only one that's still technically alive.
Correct.
Are we good out here? Everyone.
Can I look around and see if I see any more of these dwarves?
Just looking around.
Yeah, everybody give me perception checks.
Or any guards or something? Because they always seem to fucking show up. That's a 4. I don't still have advantage.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh
Yikes.
no.
Yikes.
Someone roll good perception, please.
Talia.
I don't know if she can still hear us or not.
She's rolling.
Okay.
All right. As you're all looking around, panting heavily from this battle, looking at these dwarves with their dark skin and such, you see one still laying there, his breast labored and such. Large mark across his head where Viz's staff struck him across it, knocking him unconscious. He still seems to be alive, but obviously not in fighting shape. The rest of them, their breaths have completely stopped. As you glance around, you once again, as you exited in this area, you didn't see, or entered in this area rather, you don't see any people really. No guards are present and such. Nobody came or even seemed to have witnessed this fight. You look around. Something seems off. You look around again. Viz is gone.
What happened? What?
As you're all looking around, like I said, seeing these dead bodies here, seeing one dwarf is left alive here in this mass. The battle itself being a bit different than the ones before. Viz struggling to not kill, even stopping others from doing so, but recovering some information in the form of a key from this place, but nothing much else, but being attacked by what most of you have surmised as members of the Xanathar Guild have attacked you and accosted you as you exit out of here, demanding the stone be given to them. You're not sure what's going on, what's going to happen next, and Biz is not here with you. But that's where we're going to end the session for the evening.
All right.
Interesting. That was a crazy session.
Hey guys,
Uh-huh.
we did it.
We did it. No crashes.
No crashes.
Yay!
I didn't want to say it until the stream was over.
Until it was
we
over.
fucking did it.
I was thinking about it, but I never said anything, so I'm not jinxing this shit. Nope.
Yep.
Yeah.
What a
jinxing
good
it.
computer. It made it.
Yeah.
Good computer.
Good job,
you did
computer.
it. All right, gonna end stream. Be right back.
Bye,
All
stream.
right. Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.